Okay, little red dot. Little red dot, a la. How's the stream manager? The stream manager says it is excellent, so I will take its word. Alright, let's see if we actually have in-game gameplay. Hello, Weep Thief. Welcome to the stream, sir. How's it going? There's the mouse. Alright, greetings one and all. It is I, Sir Hoshicat, purveyor of perfect plays, back for Work It Out Wednesday and Slay the Princess. Sorry again about last week, guys, and ironically we have the exact same kind of thunderstorm that just suddenly opened up and started to soak down the building. So sorry if you can hear that, and here's hoping we don't lose power again, because it looks like it was infrastructural neglect that did it last time. So we'll see you guys. Hello, Mehetabel, and hello, Arca. Hey, guys. Hi, everybody. Hey, welcome back. Meow. And as I said, hello, Weep Thief. And welcome, sir. How's it going, everybody? I mean, if the stream cuts out, I hope the stream doesn't cut out. I'm just letting you know, it's more like if you get lightning sounds in the background, which will be appropriate. Mehetabel, any sounds will just blend with the huge storm I'm getting down here, yeah. I don't know, we're not close enough that we should be sharing weather systems, but I don't know. It's not that far. So we seem to have had concurrent storms several times. Anyway, it's good to be back. I am sorry again about last week. We haven't gone any further in the game. So how do we get this? Arctic Great Lakes area is pretty clear right now. It isn't for me, and I'm right on Lake Ontario. So Annabelle, it's monsoon season. North America has a monsoon season? Or is that what you guys just call it locally? Yeah, alright. How do we do this noise? I have not yet loaded up a game. I think this is where we were, right? I think so. Yeah, we saved right after the narrator came through. I mean, what we do in the Southwest? Interesting. I've never heard it called that in North America. The more you know. Well, guys, when last we left off, we had fed a second... I believe the last one we did was the Nightmare, right? It was that one that sort of had like a porcelain doll's face who tried to tame us like a pet or something. That was pretty monstrous. So we have discovered that there is some sort of egregore that wishes us to hollow out vessels and present them to them. The game in achievements refers to this egregore as, quote, her, with a capital H. And then we ourselves are some kind of monster. We got an achievement called the Bloat last time, where we got, like, well, bloated, after bringing her the second of these vessels. I don't know if it's the number of vessels, or the type of vessel, or the choices we've made. I'm not sure about any of that. I'm not sure if our changes carry over from cycle to cycle, or if it's entirely different every time. Thief, time to feed the lady person, yeah. So I'm mentally tagging her as Labyrinth-hands, after the comment we had last time, because it does remind me of the hands in Labyrinth that just sort of form together to make faces, and like, is it up or down? Was the historical question they would ask. Because what was her name? Was it Laura or Karen, or I can't remember the name of the protagonist in Labyrinth, but she was falling in like the abyss and gets caught by all these hands. Sarah. Okay. Man. Oh, thank you, Mehetabel. Mehetabel, much better memory than I have. Now, I gotta admit, I'm not sure how to begin here. The weird thing about this game is it doesn't really give you a focus point after the start. Like, you fall in and you go wherever, but then it's always just sort of you go wherever. Like, I don't know how to target us exactly. So I kind of feel like just sort of randomly stabbing out and seeing what we end up with. I feel like we've asked most of these already. I don't think they change much. So we said this one last... Okay, we haven't just silently continued to the cabin yet. Let's try doing that.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin.
Ah, yes, the narrator.
You'll find the princess within.
And I think the hero's going to key in at this point.
Before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right?
I think sometimes she tells the truth. I just don't know.
Save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Hero still very uncertain about things, which makes sense. Okay, we're still proceeding in. Is this going to be the same?
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare.
Default cabin.
The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Okay, have we gone in without a knife on the first run? I feel like we have. So the way I'm sort of thinking that, like, we are reset to 0 here. We don't have any voice other than voice of the hero. When we've only been ourselves and voice of the hero, I think we've always gone in with the knife, but I'm not positive about that.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
But this seems to be the first binary. Like, do you take the blade or do you not? I think that's probably one of the biggest differences from the get-go. Okay, I'm going to try entering it without the blade. Again.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
This is really not that bad of a place. We've been in worse places, and he's always like, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. I don't think so, buddy. I think you are too quick to, But okay, this we've had before. Let me catch up here. If I've seen a path with no blade, if you want a starting point... I mean, we've done paths with no blades. You mean a specific one? Well, it's one of somebody's options. It's hard to keep track of what's been done already and what hasn't. Yes. Although, again, I think a lot of the investigatory options are soft changes that happen behind the scenes, so it's hard. We have already taken the Smitten Path, Arco. Are you saying there's no other thing we can do without the blade? Like, does that lock us into the Smitten always?
Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Okay, so she sounds scared again this time.
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life.
I don't understand why I remember we've gotten this before, but I don't understand why the voice of the hero says that, because it's really not. She sounds scared. I mean...
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing.
Yeah, unless you're the kind of person who's really taken in by, like, damsels in distress, which I guess the Smitten would be. Okay, dangerous game by coming in unarmed. We've tried high. This is difficult. Hero as a hero may be very susceptible to, yeah, a woman in distress. Maybe. I guess that's what they're implying. Yeah, I'm assuming there's about an even number, well, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm assuming, like, they give you a binary like that at the beginning, blade or no blade. I assume there's a good number of choices and a good number not to have. Possibly, but we're already sort of past that bit. Okay. Okay, who am I kidding? They're all good. I hope so. I feel like this is that kind of game where you just sort of stumble into it. I don't know why it's It's throwing me off today for some reason. Like, I got here, and now I feel all disoriented. It's weird. It is a bit of a jarring game. Also, I don't like being mean, and a lot of these are going to involve being mean, and I'm just not that kind of person. So that's a problem I probably have on this game. Okay, I'm going to lie. I don't think we've outright lied yet. I'm here to save you. I'm actually here to hollow you out in some way, shape, or form.
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever.
Okay, so I'm lying to her. Does that manifest her lying to me a lot? That's sort of my intuitive thinking.
You're trying to get her to lower her guard. It's a gamble, but it might work.
I don't know if that is what I'm trying to do. I'm just seeing what happens if you lie. If you know enough to know you don't know anything, that's true, and that's true in, like,
come downstairs.
Everyday
I
life.
want to see the face of my rescuer.
Metabel, I bet a big betrayal would prompt you, princess. I would like, I think that's the operative thing. I think we're supposed to just find new situations. Yeah, Arca, I have no idea what that is, sorry. Okay, so she's being not quite obsequious, but she's like buying into our lie.
Princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall.
This is very familiar. We've had this exact scene.
Beautiful. How could someone like this be a threat?
Shut up, hero. You're too easily swayed.
I'm begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Okay.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever.
How long is forever? How long does forever appear to be to you? Because I suspect this whole universe was created about, I don't know, 30 minutes before we got here.
I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
I did not. Unless by something you mean a knife. We're not doing the arm thing again.
You were lying when you said you were here to rescue her, but regardless of your intentions, breaking her out of those chains would be a big mistake. Don't even try it.
Okay, so the narrator's keeping on about the fact that we're lying. Hold on, let's talk a bit first. I'll see what I can do, examine the change. Okay, we've gone straight to this. Let's see what talking we can do with lies on the line.
Okay.
Oh, that's different. That's a new one. I think this whole scene is different. The eyes are disturbing. The eyes look, I don't even know how to articulate this. They look wrong. Okay, explore. What's your name? We haven't asked her her name yet, I don't think. Maybe we have. What is your name?
Oh.
Are you gonna lie to me?
Carefully formulating her words before she responds.
I assume this is a very I'm dissembling kind of look that she's giving.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call me Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
No, I didn't ask you your title. I asked you your name.
Is Princess her name or her title? What if it's both? Could you imagine being named Princess?
Yes, but that sounds like you're in a video game written by a 4-year-old, so let's hope not. Fine, let's go down this rabbit hole. So is Princess your name? ...
Like I said, you can call me Princess if you'd like.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
I'm sorry, I've been down here so long, I guess I've just forgotten.
You've forgotten
I must
your
have
name.
a name, though. Everyone has a name.
Weep Thief Mario type name. Is that Mario's official first and last name? Maybe it is.
Okay, that's weird.
That is weird. Okay, so she claims to have forgotten her name.
She hadn't even thought to pick a name for herself. Hopefully you're starting to see that she can't be trusted. Go back upstairs, get the blade, and slay her before it's too late.
Oh right, we didn't break down the blade. Okay, so... he's implying that she's dissembling. She may be dissembling. She also may have been created 30 minutes ago, and thus doesn't have a name. Medieval Mario, and Luigi Mario. Arca Mario, Jumpman Mario. Yeah, oh yeah, he was originally called Jumpman, wasn't he? They are the Mario Bros, yes. But, well, anyway. Life. Okay, these are all questions that I was curious about. So, I think we've asked the locked up here for the reason one. If I'm the first person you've seen in a while, what have you been eating? or drinking. That's an important one. Can we get a vessel where she admits that she's not real? Are we gonna lead her down a path of like, I don't know what I've been eating.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
Well, I'm trying to establish the reality of your existence, basically. Or I am falsehood, exactly.
This is the only time
poke
this is
holes in
ever
her
going to
reality.
happen. But I agree with the princess. That's hardly relevant.
Okay, but narrator, you're the one who would have created her in this situation, so I actually now feel like I may be onto something. And the narrator also doesn't like us asking this, and she looks uncomfortable.
Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
Yes, hero. Let's hold on to that and not the fact that she's ethereally beautiful or whatever you're thinking. Yeah, Medibel. It's extremely relevant. Okay. I don't know anything about you. I'm assuming here to slay you. What are you going to do if I let you out? I'm sorry, but I just can't trust you. This doesn't add up, and it isn't worth the risk to take your word over the potential fate of the world. Retrieve the blade. I can't believe they've been keeping you. Again, who's they? Don't make me regret this. Oh, I want to ask more questions. We don't have more questions. Okay, what are you going to do if I let you out of here?
The princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life.
That's an assumption. I hate that I'm making all these assumptions. Stop it. Stop it. I'm assuming, actually, that she's not real and she hasn't been here more than 20 minutes.
She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
Eat, thief, eat to live. No, eat, mean, die. Very relevant, right? Always. We're trying to, like, establish the metaphysics of this reality, and it's not a normal reality.
Are you looking for the truth, or are you looking for the right answer?
The
Because
truth.
with the dynamic we have going on here, I don't think the specifics of what I do really matter.
What dynamic? I do not want you assuming any kind of relationship with me right now, lady.
It's not like you'd believe me.
What if you told me that you just popped into existence 50, like... I need more. I need more than this. I don't like these answers where they just go like, I'm not giving you an answer. That's not very helpful. Midwell, or she doesn't know anything about life. That seems more likely, but she can sure, like, give you a manipulative answer. Okay, so I can either get her out of here, don't make me regret this, examine the chains. I can't believe they've been keeping you down here like this and getting you out of here, examine the chains. Go back upstairs to retrieve the blade without saying another word. I'm sorry, but I just can't trust you. This doesn't add up, and it isn't worth the risk to take your word over the potential fate of the world. I don't know anything about you. For all I know, you're locked up here for a reason. We've asked this one before, but not in this context. I was sent here to slay you. You're apparently supposed to end the world. I'm leaning towards, given everything we've asked, I'm sorry, but I just can't trust you. This doesn't add up. Maybe she will try something. Maybe she'll volunteer something else to try to get us to trust her.
Thank you.
Ah, she looks resentful of that.
You turn back to the stairs, intent on retrieving the blade in the cabin.
Okay, are you gonna lock the door on us again or something?
So, what? You're going to try and kill me?
That's a new voice. She sounds a bit like she's, like, impersonating an 80s, like, femme fatale sort of stereotype all of a sudden. Well, it doesn't add up. That seems like the sensible choice. Nothing adds up.
I promise you. But go ahead. Run along and get whatever you're planning to get.
This is a new one. She actually sounds like she's been drinking now.
But you'd better hope that I don't slip these chains before you make it back down here.
Slip these chains?
Interesting.
She can't, right?
Don't say that, hero.
She needed our help to get out of here. But do you hear the conviction in her voice?
Don't manifest
I don't think she's bluffing.
the ability to let her slip her chains. We know we can do that. We should not do that. If I did the math, though, I'm not good at math, but it doesn't add up.
She has to be bluffing, but hurry.
Narrator, you're not helping either.
You rush up to the first floor, grabbing the blade, both yours and the world's only possible salvation. Okay. If we're sure about this decision, I'll support it. I suppose we have a world to save, after all.
I still don't think we do have a world to save, but anyway, I've got to stop. Do I have to stop? I feel like I need to stop calling out the fact that everything everyone says is clearly bullshit. because it's just going to take the whole stream. But basically, proviso, I think everything everyone is saying is essentially bull.
You slowly creep down the basement stairs.
It's quiet now. Midabel, there may be a world somewhere. Like, there may be many worldlets.
Where the princess sat only a moment
Aha!
ago, there's only a severed arm.
Well.
Its cooling flesh still chained to the wall. And she is nowhere to be seen.
Remember when I said that we weren't gonna cut her arm off again? Yeah. She made a liar out of us.
Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
It did not. It got darker in this version, but it's the same size. It has been smaller before, but I did actually make a note of that when we came downstairs. The room is the same size, this route. Okay, I think we got off on the wrong foot, or hand, as the case may be. No? Okay. I'm gonna say that one just because it's yeah.
Oh, you coward!
Narrator, you don't even know what I'm thinking anymore. You have no clue. So just.
No, I don't think we can.
Okay, we have an answer. According to my headphone, that's behind me to my left. It's interesting.
Why don't you come closer? I have something to show you.
Is she just the hand now? That would be funny. Come closer to the hand. And the hand's gonna, like, get up and attack us like Thing from the Addams Family. Let's finish this.
Your eyes dart to the corners of the room. You don't see her.
Interesting. What happens if we give a vessel to Labyrinth-hands that is just a hand?
Where is she?
Meow. Let's close the door.
You close the door behind you. Almost magically, its locks immediately click into place.
They've talked to the hand.
Maybe they'll open if you finish the job.
Talk to the hand. Arca, I think this vessel is kind of handy. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. All right, guys. Let's investigate the arm then.
You step forward to investigate the severed limb.
That sure is a hand, all right. It looks very similar to the last time she bit it off.
A trail of blood leads from its jagged stump into a dark corner of the basement.
That's kind of trippy, because, like, the foreground and the background don't meet anywhere.
And then you hear the quiet patter of feet against the floor, and there's suddenly a weight on your shoulders.
Oh, she jumped on our back and bit us.
Her teeth and claws are unnaturally sharp, ripping into your shoulders, digging into your throat. You fall to the ground, the princess eagerly tearing at your flesh.
Okay, we have like a ghoul princess. Oh dear. Alright. Okay, we await the payment of the light to continue the transaction.
Velocity overwhelms you, and as the princess rends flesh from bone, your limp fingers lose their grip on the blade. It slips from your hand, your one last means of defense, lying useless beside you in a pool of your cooling blood. I suppose you just lacked the will to fight back.
I didn't.
This is the end, isn't it?
It's another frustrating part of this kind of game is when, like, you have ideas about what you'd like to try, but the narration just sort of tells you you did something else. Okay, alright.
I'm afraid it is. You shouldn't have let that fear creep into your heart. You had the upper hand, and now look at you.
What fear? What are you talking? Anyway, alright.
Everything goes dark.
What choice did we take that indicates fear? Can you guys think what that would be? Was it going back to lock the door? That was just me being careful. I didn't want her to escape. Okay, well, that's the end of that path. As Arca calls it the Vampy Teeth path.
You're on a
Or
path.
Medieval, it's the predator incarnation of the princess.
And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Oh, Weep Thief, can we talk it out, actually? Yeah, okay. So that was supposed to be fear? I see. Okay. See, I figured that would be just...
You're here
what's the
to
word?
slay her.
Misdirection?
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
It was really the only other thing there was to say in there. Okay, we're back. Blah. Alright, let's save. I'm kind of disinterested in talking to the narrator about this again.
No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here.
I do have that, and I am sick of the narrator gaslighting.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. If he doesn't remember what happened...
The hunted.
Then something else must have trapped us here.
Maybe. I have suspicions that we're partly responsible for trapping us here and creating this, in part because the creature, Labyrinth-hands, has said that we are like sort of part of the same function. The narrator may not be as important as we think. I'm not sure.
You're not trapped here. Nobody's forcing you to do anything, though the only sensible thing for you to do right now is march up to that cabin and slay the princess.
It's more than just deja vu, though. I'm pretty sure this whole thing literally just happened. Let's see if the hunted says anything else from doing that.
We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to disagree.
Yeah, but doing my job isn't getting us any closer either. Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all this really did actually already happen. Why should I listen to you? Why should I bother doing anything? We've already asked that, and he just gets snarky at us. Okay, let's go back to the cabin. That's fine.
A warning before you go.
I think Arca likes this route from what he's saying. Weethief, that's what I would guess. The narrator's narrative is also a hint. I would assume so.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Well, yeah, I think that narrator is also trapped in the same loop and just trying to perform its purpose rather than having much actual power. I suspect there are, like, as many narrators as there are iterations so far, and that it's sort of, yeah, it's a function that gets drawn into the world every time.
Does a cat lie to a cornered mouse when it plays with its freedom? Or is it just acting out its nature?
How would it lie to the mouse exactly? It's only capable of saying meow and then eating it.
I don't see why that matters. A lie's a lie, and if anything, she's the one who's cornered.
Okay, so the lie is what set us down this path.
She could have gotten out of there whenever she wanted to. We should trust nothing that she tells us, only what we hear and smell.
Interesting. So he's like a feral perspective.
That's a very roundabout way of saying that you should listen to me and take this seriously.
Oh, can I touch and smell you? Can I, Zarkov, narrator.
Maybe.
Proceed to the cabin. I'm actually, like, real life allergic to gaslighting. It really, really bothers me.
It feels like no one has lived here for a long time. Wind rushing in through cracks and holes in the wooden walls. The only furniture of note is a termite-eaten table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Okay, the blade is still pristine. The table now sucks. There are no ghosts outside the windows, so that's nice, but there are no more window panes. And the mirror is back.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay. The mirror still isn't there, I'm assuming.
That's because there isn't a mirror.
Yeah, okay.
There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. What a strange thing to lie about. Maybe he doesn't see it.
Okay, Hunted sees it too.
Much like he hasn't seen what's already happened.
So is Smitten. Like, they all saw it. All my alter egos can see the mirror so far. Why would you lie about that? What's the point? I want to look at myself. I want to see how handsome I am. It doesn't matter. Remain silent. Which of these have we taken before? I think we've asked this already.
Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? That you waste time preening yourself instead of doing
my
what
homies can
needs
see
to
the
be
mirror.
done.
Oh my. Alright, let's push the mirror again.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
Sometimes I feel like I don't know if there's a point in doing this.
This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror clean,
Reach
the mirror is
forward,
gone,
hold
our
your
hand is still
against
there.
the cabin
We
wall.
don't look more bloated
How
or
do you know how
anything.
ridiculous you look right now?
So I can't tell if the bloat is supposed to persist
But it was there
once
a
we
second
get
ago,
that.
and now it's gone.
Okay, well that wasn't helpful. Weep Thief, eventually the mirror should do something possibly helpfully. I mean, maybe. It does after cycles. Blade or no blade? Blade or no blade? I think I'm going no blade again.
No steel claw. Do you think we can talk our way out of this? I don't think she wants to talk. I guess we'll just have to trust that we made the right call. It'll still be here if we need it.
We're gonna go no blade again.
The door to the basement creaks
Ooh,
open,
interesting.
revealing what's left of an old wooden staircase. It's still sturdy enough that you
Like
can make
a
your way down in one
cave.
piece, though you'll have to be mindful of holes.
And I can hear water?
The air seeping up from below is oddly warm and wet, as if you're descending into a jungle. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Yeah,
She
you
growls
always
up the
says that.
stairs.
Narrator always says that.
I can smell you.
You sound even worse this time.
She sounds almost feral,
That is not what you want to hear.
impatient, or maybe eager.
Okay, now the hunted also already mentioned this.
You carefully make your way down the stairs.
Trust what we can
The
smell.
last step gives way to the damp earth floor of a starlit pit. The walls are obscured by an impenetrable darkness,
It's up
giving the
top
illusion
now.
that the room might stretch on forever. You brush against the wide leaves of plants that surround you on all sides, seemingly the only living things that occupy this strange underground wilderness.
How are they photosynthesizing? This would not be enough. Okay. Like a weird tree there. They're all weird. This... If that's what you're referring to, that looks like an animal's tail to me. Yeah, Weep Thief. Oh, lion. This looks like the tuft of a lion's tail or something.
The jungle is pressing in on us, hiding her from view. She could be anywhere. You see only a
Yep, there it
flash of the
goes.
princess before she
Okay.
scurries away into the underbrush, dragging her heavy chain behind her.
We have some kind of princess beast.
Remember, she's just a princess. She is certainly not just a princess. You're not helping.
No, you're not helping. If everyone could just stop gaslighting me, I would really appreciate it. I'd actually really appreciate that. This is actually... Sorry, but this is actually starting to tick me off, which is interesting.
It doesn't matter what she is. It only matters what she does.
Yeah, Annabelle. The hunted is having nothing of this existential hooey. Or is he? The hunted is like in the grips of his existential crisis in a way. He's all about, are we going to survive or die? Yeah, Archie.
Her shining eyes appear between the leaves, staring hungrily at you from the darkness.
Okay, there we go.
I can hear your heart pounding from the bottom of the stairs, fledgling. You're right to be terrified.
Fledgling.
I'm so much
Oh.
more than you.
Okay, so if she's calling us a fledgling, then the assumption I'm making here is that this is... Well, anyway, it's a possibility anyway, is that this is a vampire story. She killed us last time, that turned us, we're now a young vampire, at least according to the headcanon of this particular two-part story. That seems quite possible. And about Dragon Princess, maybe. Who knows?
A shiver rushes up your
This
spine.
is like
and pulls you
Disorientation, the
upright.
video game.
The air's shifting. She's getting ready to pounce. Move, now.
Okay, the hunted... Where? Don't you hear that clinking? She's in chains again, we're fine. You're about to attack me, aren't you? I can see right through you. We don't have to kill each other, you know that, right? Move or stand still. Okay, I'm gonna save. I should have saved again before the last cycle. To the idea that manifestation is one of the primary functions that we're operating on here, And last time we manifested fear by checking the door, although I still don't think that's a fear-based action, necessarily. If I say this, does that mean it's true? We're gonna try that. Don't you hear that clinking? She's in chains again. We're fine. And let's believe it as we say it.
Why not? Move.
No.
There's a shift in the humid air.
Freeze in front of a creature on your first move.
Lunges
Okay.
from the shadows, her maw unhinged and dripping, her eyes fierce and full of hunger. She is too quick to outrun, too nimble to outmaneuver, too determined to overpower. This is her domain. You are devoured. I guess that's it then, isn't it?
I guess so.
Unfortunately for you, no. This isn't it.
Wait, the chain could be longer this time. I guess so.
You are in a dark and caustic place. A thick, fibrous lining constricts around you, its slick surface
Oh,
impossible to
dude,
grip.
we got
Your
swallowed.
hands scrabbling uselessly at your surroundings as they compress in on you. Your lungs can barely expand in such a tiny space. Not that the humid, finite air grants you more than a few shallow breaths at a time.
That's disgusting. Also, we have claws. We should totally not be pleasant to have in here. We should be scrabbling away and causing serious gastrointestinal distress. That's what we should be doing as a strategy.
The liquid pooling beneath you starts to seep into your skin.
Uh-huh.
You itch, then sting.
Yeah, hydrochloric
then
acid
burn
sucks.
as the acid begins its slow work.
Medibel, not what I expected. Me either. I thought it would just end the cycle. I was thinking we'd go back and try again.
When I killed you, I tried to leave this place, but it wouldn't let me. You belong down there, it screamed at me. The world is better off without you in it.
If we should have brought the knife, but maybe we can make it out of here. Maybe. I'm trying to make sense of how this game builds itself.
The flesh around you rumbles as the princess begins to move, her thundering footfalls twisting you helplessly about. Your skin protests as the corrosive liquid sloshes around you, but there will be no respite for you in sight. The burning grows stronger, and you can feel layers of you being peeled away.
I think Mahitopel was right about the dragon princess. This is seeming like she's a whole lot bigger than she appears.
But you don't belong down here. You came from somewhere else. You came from out there. So I consumed your dead heart, and I carried it in my throat, and I draped what was left of you on my back,
Ew.
and I threw myself against that door.
Did that work? Did you fool fate?
She stops, her muscles tensing around you, and through the muffling layers of her flesh, you hear the whine of straining metal. And with a pop, she lurches forward, your body lurching right along with her.
But wait, how can we be on her back and in her stomach at the same time?
Her chains. She's loose.
Well, apparently, or she couldn't have eaten us, genius.
But even then, it denied me freedom.
Okay.
You cannot fool me by draping yourself in decay. I know your true nature, and it is suffering.
Who is talking to you? Who? It's not the narrator. The narrator can't... Could the narrator do this in the first place?
Gravity
If
pulls
so, why
at
does
you
it
as
need
your heft
us?
upwards. The distant creaking of ancient wooden steps barely audible over the thudding of the princess's heart.
And then it was gone, and I was here. A new enclosure, a nicer cage, but still a prison. I learned from my wounds. You're alive now. We can leave together.
This makes 0 sense. Actually 0 sense.
Does that work? Could she free herself if we're alive in here?
Maybe, if you believe in it.
Do you really need me to give you a definitive answer for you to understand that the situation is grim? Stop her. Do something. We don't have steel, but we have tooth and claw. Tear through her before we are her.
See? Okay, I don't want to get digested. This is true. Can you talk to the cabin? You could have asked me before swallowing me alive. Claw and bite. Fine, you can leave. You can leave, just let me go, or wait for death. Can you talk to the cabin?
I understand it, and it understands me. Talking is for those who don't know how to listen.
Okay, but you gave it words. So you know how to listen, and then you talk, which means you don't know how to listen. But anyway, whatever. You could have asked me before swallowing me alive. Of course she's not going to ask me. Claw and bite. I feel like that's not going to work. I feel like that's not going to work. Okay, let's give it a try.
Like the cornered animal you are, you tear against the thick membranes of her stomach with every part of you that can be made sharp. Nails, claws, teeth, hands, feet.
I can feel you tearing through me, but are you swift enough for it to matter?
That does not sound like it hurts.
Your body is violently jostled,
Oh,
the disruption
dude.
causing burning skin to slop from raw muscle, and you hear what you can only assume is the princess pulling against the door to the cabin.
Medibel, I'm guessing it's implying some sort of psychic link where emotions and ideas are shared rather than actual words. No, I'm sure it is. I just like... I don't know. Maybe it's... It is the aversion to the way the game has been gaslighting me. But I just... She was snarky about it. She was like, fool, you don't need to talk if you can but then why are you translating? Why are you bothering? Why are you... You know, anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
The cage is still locked.
You could have asked me before swallowing me alive. You need me to want to free you, don't you? You can't force me to let you out of here. Just because I want freedom doesn't mean I want to give you yours. This one makes more sense. You need me to want to free you, don't you? You can't force me to let you out of here.
Every creature craves freedom. You will too before you die.
Death is a form of freedom. Right? Like, especially in this bizarre, hermetic, Gnostic universe that we're inhabiting, death is literally going home, and we reset. So,
Your body is violently jostled, the disruption causing burning skin to slop from raw muscle, and you hear what you can only assume
repeated this
is
one.
the princess pulling against the door to the cabin.
The cage is still locked.
repeated. Okay. Yeah, I don't want you to be free. So let's see how that works.
Freedom.
Furl, is that the wrong choice?
The click of what you presume to be a door ripples through.
Nope. No, oh, that was supposed to be a load. Okay, Frel.
But we didn't, apparently. That was all it took.
Okay, I'm going back here. Load. Yes. Okay. We're gonna go to the same place. She's in chains, we're fine. And then I stood still. And then she attacked me and ate me. Okay.
Guess, unfortunately for you, you are in a dark and the liquid
Right here, blah blah blah.
But even and then I learned.
Does that work? Do you really? We don't have.
Okay. Can you talk to the cabin? Snarky, snarky. You could have asked before swallowing me alive. Claw and bite. We claw and bite once.
I can feel you touch the cage.
Okay, you can't force me to let you out of here.
Every creature.
Ahem. Wait to die.
This is a bad thing to do.
That's what I wanted to do. Oh god, look at that. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. I accidentally overwrit the save that I wanted to do. But you know what? This one's really ticking me off. Like, actually ticking me off.
Your will dissolves along with your flesh. You let go and pathetically await your death every burning second.
Because, like, if we're going down, we're taking her with us.
You're reduced to a wet pile of bone and gristle.
We'll do better next time.
Your vision finally begins to blur, your eyes clouding over as they melt in their sockets. Everything goes dark, and you die.
No vessel. Chapter 3! We've never had a Chapter 3 before. Okay. That took us somewhere new.
We are a path in the woods. We have no beginning, and we have no end. But something cold and unnatural sits watching us from just beyond our edge.
Okay. This is more interesting. return. Archie, wait, what the? What is this? Is this not theoretically in the game? The game is not updated or anything, and this is not the pristine cut. That doesn't apparently come out until November or something. Okay.
His gaze pushes against our borders, curling them in on themselves, preventing them from stretching to the places they need to reach.
Okay, Arca hasn't been here before. So we're a path in the woods. There's a presence on the edge of the woods. I'm just keeping track of what she's saying. That presence has an awareness. The awareness pushes against us, but it can't get as far as where it wants to go or where it needs to go. No. He's preventing us from getting where we need to go. Okay.
No, that's all wrong. You're not a path in the woods, you're on a path in the woods. Who's even saying that?
Narrator is still present.
That's not the princess, is it? Oh no. How many times have you been here?
Narrator now has a sense of deja vu. Interesting.
I think this is our third?
It's our third on this cycle.
That's bad. That's very, very bad. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2. If you're at 3, well, no wonder things aren't the way they're supposed to be.
Ah, okay. Mahitable. Finally, Mr. Narrator's taken down a peg, and the narrator is now aware of our iterations, and apparently this is like a known possibility to him. It wasn't even supposed to reach 2 if you're at 3 well. Okay, alright.
Let's get our facts straight. What happened last time? What could you have possibly done for things to be like this?
I like the music.
That sits beyond our edge speaks his logic into us. He tries to grasp at things that cannot be grasped.
Okay, the narrator is the thing that sits at the edge then. And the princess is... oh no, sorry. Coughing fit, sorry. The princess keeps talking about us. Now, we were literally swallowed by the princess in the last iteration, but Labyrinth-hands keeps telling us that we are the same as Labyrinth-hands in some way, and presumably the same as the princess, possibly. Midball, look, narrator, don't judge our choices. We have the narrator panicking time. The narrator, it's interesting. It's like he's apart from creation, but he's trying to make it do things, and he has to manipulate us in order to get anything done. He has no direct reach into the world. He can only influence with ideas.
He tries to stare with wide pupils at that which can only be held from the corner of the eye or with a passing glance.
In Esoterica, the corner of the eye or the passing glance is the first and most sensitive place that clairvoyance happens, that you see into the worlds between and so forth, and that which you see out of the corner of your eyes is very significant, actually.
Shut up. The rest of you, talk. What did you do?
Okay, are we going to actually reply?
If we talk.
I assume so. I think she is us. I don't know.
I can hear everything, little one.
Don't call me that.
But you don't have to be afraid of me. There's no place where you end and I begin. Nothing can hurt you here. Not anymore.
That's just because she devoured us.
Of the broken. That's new.
We don't even exist as a body anymore. We're still here, though. And if we're safe, isn't that better?
Okay, define safe. Because, we have no body and we have no...
She ate you. And now you're convinced that you're stuck together. What a mess.
Okay, for all, what the for all is going on, narrator? Yeah, well, maybe. This is only one of many narrators. Medibel, did we ever really exist as a body in the first place? So I'm trying to figure out how to... It's like, again, in most esoteric traditions, you have multiple bodies layered on top of each other. The physical body is only the densest, but it is created by or co-created with an astral, an etheric, an emotional, a cognitive, like multiple layers of body, most of which, in theory, bleed into an overall etheric or an overall underlying structure of reality. Some traditions describe that as consciousness itself. It's sort of the pan-consciousness theory of reality. So, like, in a way, in a sense, nothing is distinct from each other except in a matter of perspective, if you zoom out from the physical. And without a body, we would all be one thing.
He doesn't
Even as we are
understand.
separate things.
We aren't convinced of anything, and we aren't stuck together. We're one. This is how we're supposed to be. Can't you feel it?
I guess that's it then. This is us now. We're the woods. Okay.
We're everything in this theory. Yeah, Medibel. How real are the physical manifestations we're interacting with? And I don't know. I think they're being created out of whole cloth as needed. We are every voice person and such. Sort of. Like, it's one of those things that words fail at. Because the closest you can get is an oppositional dichotomy, where you say you both are and are not one thing, right? There is and this is why Gnosis is called Gnosis, because it literally means direct experience of that which is. But, like, there's a Gnostic conception where you need to actually experience being and non-being as a superposition, which you can do in certain ways, in order to understand it beyond like a simple logical fallacy, like you are but you aren't. Arca, what is the egg story? Do I know that? Oh, we can finally say something. Okay. This thing watching us, what is he? Why should anyone do anything right now? This is fine. I like being this. That's one response. Why are you being nice to me? Aren't you a monster? Didn't you eat me? No. She's some sort of mirror or something. The fact the mirror keeps showing up is significant. This is like she's a manifestation of that what we are or are not, depending. I can feel the pressure of the outside pushing in on us. What are we supposed to do about it? This is how we're supposed to be, but what do we do now? Whatever we are right now is an abomination, and I want out. I don't like this. I'm supposed to be me, and you're supposed to be something that isn't me. That's a very, like, intuitive read on things, if you are an incarnate being. Okay, you, narrator, how do I stop her or do nothing? Arca, it's a short story someone wrote that a YT channel I watch animated, send it to the Discord. Alright, we'll check it out after the stream. Thank you. Because, like, I've run into a lot of stories of the egg in, you know, all over the place. It's a fairly archetypal image. Okay, this thing watching us, what is he?
I'm not watching you, I'm trying to help you.
You're also watching me.
That's not an answer to our question.
Also, I was asking the princess.
I don't know what he is. I only know that he is something other, and that he wishes for you and I to tear ourselves apart.
Maybe he is the demiurge.
I do want that, but only because it's in your best interests. It's in everyone's best interests. You won't be able to slay her unless you remove yourself from her.
But why should I slay her, especially if the entire world is contiguous with her? Like, Narrator has still never given us a better answer than, trust me, you need to kill the princess or the world will end. From this perspective, that doesn't make any sense at all. It reminds me a bit of some of the beliefs from my father's people, if you're familiar with Algonquin mythology, a little bit. The concept that the one great spirit, God, force of power, and every living thing is part of that force, but also an independent being. Yes. And the Algonquin, the Hindi, the ancient Taoist beliefs, many of the Buddhist beliefs, Shintoism. Anyway, I could just keep listing things. At the basis of many, 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 many spiritualities is this idea that there's a single thing that either in the manifestation of a dream, like that's one good analogy for it, everything is one in that it is a single dream, but we are all the characters, the denizens of the dream that believe themselves to have independent thought. It's that kind of idea.
He wants us to kill each other.
I don't. I want you to kill her. Don't be charmed by her faux solidarity. You're not in this together. She's the only one who poses a threat to the world, and she's trying to make you go along with it. You don't have to enable her, especially when you have what it takes to stop her.
Define the world. Define it already, because I'm actually kind of sick of this. I'm sick of the narrator saying, like, you just have to kill her or the world's gonna end. You're not telling me what the world is. You're not telling me why. You're not telling... Anyway, I'm sorry. It's actually starting to tick me off. I've had enough of this guy. How do we stop him? I am absolutely sick of him.
It may feel like he's everywhere, but presence isn't strength. Otherwise, he would have torn us apart by now. There must be a crack in the walls of this prison. There must be a way for us to be free from him.
She's trying to use you. After everything she's done, you should be able to see that. I may not have been around to witness it, but clearly you remember what happened. How about you try remembering how it all felt?
How it all felt. The further we go on, the more this makes me feel like it's based on the idea of the demiurge. Because that's literally, you have a thing that is also an element of, okay, let's take like big picture ontology here. You have God. And I'm not asserting this is true, I'm just explaining the belief structure. You have God. God is all. God is one of these Brahmic conceptions where the entirety of creation is, in a sense, the body of God. In order for there to be anything, God has to sunder a part of itself, create a place of itself where it does not exist, in a sense. And in order to do this, it has to sort of rend a hole in its being. Then from itself, it needs to create that which populates this void. And one of the things that steps forward to do this is an element known as the demiurge, which sort of is a godling within this space within the god. It tries to serve that function, but it is in essence a gatekeeper that keeps that which is within separate from that which is without, and thus keeps us independent of the larger God and ignorant to it. In fact, we tend to believe the demiurge is God because it presents itself as such. In this conception of the narrator, he would be the gatekeeper. He would be the prison warden or the demiurge. And he's trying to keep us dividing ourselves. He's trying to keep us in the dichotomy that allows the illusion of otherness so that we cannot overcome it and thus reclaim true freedom or reattach to the Godhead, let's say. I didn't explain that very well. But all that is to say, let's turn inward and find our freedom rather than allow Maya, the illusion of life, to carry us away in its passions and its flows so that we feel separate again. A glimpse of something bigger. Embrace your transformation.
Into a network of connections too vast for your mind to occupy. Are you a path in the woods? Are you a body? Can you even grasp the fuzziest edges of the shapes that confine you?
We can change to fill them together.
Or everything.
We don't need to be everywhere. We just need to test the boundaries.
Interesting.
You'd do best to remember that some wounds will never heal. Some rifts can never be mended. Even in rebirth, some things never come back the same.
They shouldn't come back the same. They should change. Life should be flow, not stagnation.
What is he going on about? What does he know about us?
This is all too much. Why can't we just let her do as she sees fit? She's the one who can handle being vast. It's not for us. It's not for me.
I mean, she would just be another element. Again, it would be like an illusion of difference.
You aren't whole. You'll never be whole again. This struggle is meaningless. Whatever you think you're doing, you will fall apart.
We don't need to be made whole. All we need to do is find a single corner of his cage and break it.
There's a place you need to be, you just need to find it. Let's catch up quick. Oh, Weeb Thief. I've played a game where we defeated being called Demiurge, and now I have a better understanding of that story. No problem. Wasn't the best rendition. You can look up the Demiurge and Gnostic mysticism. There are many takes on it. That was just like a quick... what's the name of the guy? I was kind of going off of someone in particular's idea of it there, but I can't bring his name to mind at the moment. Well, stop trying to hinder progress, narrator. He sort of shed his skin a bit. Now he's just going like, how dare you, and you can't. It's really interesting. Because, like, this statement, we don't need to be made whole. All we need to do is find a single corner of his cage and break it. That would make us whole. Like, under this ontology that I'm talking about, that would reunite us with the Godhead and restore to us the whole. And then it would necessitate this cycle repeat eventually, or there would never be anything again. Like in the Brahmic conception, Brahma, every however many 100 million years it is, recollects himself, awakes for a little while, realizes that there's nothing to do, and goes back to dreaming and recreates the universe. It's, anyway, there's a place you need to be, you just need to find it. Okay. Ooh, is this the corner of the cage?
You stretch and search and stretch and search, growing as you decay and decaying as you grow. As you strain beyond your limits, the ground around you becomes dry and unstable and crumbles into nothing beneath you. This place will fall apart before you find its end.
If it falls apart, then we will find its end. The narrator is mostly using fear to keep us caged. As Meherbel says, he's losing the control he felt he had.
This task, whatever it is you think you're doing, is impossible.
Okay, but you saying that makes me think it's possible.
All he has are words, and words aren't real. We're real.
What's real, Mr. Hunted?
I can hold us together for a little while longer, so long as you trust me.
Now, instead of adding to the Labyrinth-hands, we may have another goal to find and defeat the narrator. I think probably by strengthening the egregore, we will be better able to combat the narrator. I'm not sure.
Of course we do. To the ends of the earth.
Ah, the broken trust the princess. What happened to the hunted? Did the hunted become the broken? Is this one of those allegories of, like, submission to that which cannot be overcome gives you ultimately the power to overcome it? I trust you. Find the exit.
You won't find anything. If I have to starve you, if I have to sacrifice my world to keep the princess at bay, I'll do it.
Okay, Demiurge / narrator. Yeah, Meherbel, if it were impossible, why try to stop us? But you do find something. It's cold and smooth and gently buckles, then cracks under the pressure of your consciousness flattening against it.
Don't move an inch. Don't grow another blade of grass or harvest the remains of another dying creature so you can expand just that much further. Stop all of this. Right now.
Annabelle, he's just losing it now and showing more of his hand than he intends. He is, and this is definitely giving us a direction. Now, maybe he's being extremely clever and using like reverse psychology, but I doubt it. Okay, we should strain.
It's too late for that, mate.
I'm at your side. Shatter it and free us all.
Let's see what happens. Shatter the cage.
No.
Ooh, new colors! Color at all. But is please disappear at the sound of breaking glass. For a moment, you and she gaze through the tiniest hole in the world at the place you need to be.
Is this what he kept from us? Is this why he made us kill each other?
Yeah, Arca. It's like greens and golds. Both of which are alchemically impactful colors. A little bit of red, too.
This
As is that.
beautiful. We need to be there. We won't be safe until we are. We won't be whole.
Every aspect of my being feels this to be correct in the game, I mean, right? And then it's gone.
Where did it go? Why is everything so cold?
Oh, Archie, you haven't seen this one before. Cool. What do you think? Looks like growing grass. A little bit, yeah. I was thinking like seaweed and underwater sort of thing. Like if you have glass filtering down. But you never get the chance to answer her. You turn to see her gone behind you. Memory returns. Here's the mirror.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
Find her where? Also, she's us. Also, she's everything and we're everything.
And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Why not? Okay, let's just approach the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels...
My people are gonna be
final.
obliterated again.
That thing reeks of death. I don't want to look at us.
Yeah, I'm a little worried we will have grown again. We'll see what we look like this time. The voices feel small, distant as you approach. Gaze into your reflection. Okay, this looks about the same. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. Ah, we have melted. The decay you've withered. Ah. Interesting. Looks more like we're melting. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. Hands around a tree or a burning bush or something.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
No, this is very reminiscent of certain states of consciousness that you can access through either psychedelic experience or deep trance state and meditation, where you actually have something like an omniscient presence that nonetheless is one perspective at a time, even though you're aware of all of them. It's very interesting. Okay, it's a face, yeah, it is. Or at least it appears to be. It's interesting that she's kind of holding her mouth. It's like I'm imagining her like moving it up and down to talk. Okay, you can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist. Contradictions totally exist. They do and they don't. If you look up or down a level of analysis, they disappear, but at the level of analysis that they actually interact, they exist. How can you stand to be a contradiction? It doesn't matter how many times I go back, at least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse? What do you think of this vessel? You know, at the end of this, once you're finished, I'm gonna kill you. Why does it keep saying that? Why do we think we're gonna do that? Arca, Handy does that to all of them, I think. Moves the mouse up and down. That makes sense. Right now, holding it closed. Do you know what happens to the worlds we leave behind? Have you figured out what you'll want when we finish? Do you still not care what I bring you next? How many more vessels do I need to bring you? I'm ready to go back. Blah, blah. Okay, let's try to do a bunch of these. You can't be contradiction. Contradictions don't exist.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it.
I'm completely okay with this statement. And that makes sense to me. How can you stand to be a contradiction? Also, not that bad once you realize that the single perspective you're looking at is not where you have to stay.
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
Because the thing is, when you look at these corners and these contours and the cracks and things, it's difficult, it's painful, it causes struggle, it causes strife. But it also is how you grow, it's how you expand. You have to let the skin crack so that it can fill out, you know? Okay. Let's keep asking these things. It doesn't matter how many times we go back, at least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse? I don't know if it would make it worse.
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
It's kind of the, like, in a single life kind of perspective, like you get locked in, you can find these things twist you around, you can end up very resentful, but then those waters move away, it's a new section of the river type of thing. It's you know, next time if you run into someone else you've had karma with in the previous life, do you have the same life again? No, it's going to be different. It's interesting. If anything, it makes me like you more. I don't know what that says about me. I like that, yeah. Yes, you're torturing me and I hate it. I think I hate you. No, I think this does make me like her more.
It says that your heart is gentle, that even in the darkness you are guided by compassion.
I really don't like bringing a knife against her. That is true. Okay, what do you think of this vessel?
This one is like a shadow of me, twisting vines in search of answers. She will make for a curious heart.
So we've had what? Curious, gentle, and strong now, I think.
Do not mourn her.
Or fierce, did she say?
She has found what she yearned for.
The first one we brought her was gentle. The second one we brought her was something. It was the nightmare, and it was fierce or strong or something like that. And this one is curious. Okay. Should we say this? I don't think I want to kill her. But maybe it's one of those things where, like, in culminating the creation, and then I think probably we're going to join with her too, it will destroy and create something new, you know? Made about fierce, I think. Yeah, I think it was fierce. Thank you. Wait, let's say this. I haven't said this before.
If that remains your choice when all is said and done, then you may try.
Oh, it's okay.
But know that I do not wish you harm, even if you attempt to destroy me.
Okay, we don't have to do that. It's just a possibility. That's probably left over from what the narrator is saying. Okay, I don't think explorers change much. I really don't think they change much here, especially, because we're about to reset the cycle. I think this is where we can come and get lots of information. Do you know what happens to the worlds we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me.
Are we like the Logos to her pathos? Are we exploring and making sense of and bringing definition and order and dimension to things while she's filling them. She's almost the ocean that we're exploring. And so only when we have perspective is she aware. The rest of the time it's sort of this deeper, more unconscious being.
Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
Interesting. Emma Hiddable, I'm not sure. It's just a thought. Have you figured out what you'll want when we're finished?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
This I sympathize with. The drive to know and to understand has always been probably my strongest drive. Compared to that, very little matters in like an ultimate existential sense. That might sound a little like it's wrapped up in a lot of different elements. But anyway. Do you still not care what I bring you next?
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
Interesting.
The tides do not dictate where they are pulled. A river does not dictate its outlets.
Okay. And in theory, like, if this is sort of awareness arising from the entirety of existence, then it wouldn't have any preference one way or another.
My gift to you is to let you choose your path, and my task is to treasure the gifts you bring me.
Man. Okay, how many more vessels do I need to bring you? Probably many.
We will know when we near our destination.
Yeah. I'm not telling you that. You have exactly 18 more endings to find. No. Okay. Destroy your body, my body? I'm ready to go back. Attack the entity. What happens if I destroy my body? Because we've always said I'm ready to go back. You raise your will to end your life, but as it buries into the space your body should be, you feel nothing at all. One of the many hands in front of you reaches forward and gently touches the side of your face.
There's nowhere for you to be but here.
Okay, it doesn't do anything? It does not do anything. I was curious. Let's not attack the entity. I feel absolutely no urge to do that. I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark, and you die. An endless vessel. Bring the networked wild to her.
You're on a path in the woods.
It had a name.
And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, so simplest read is that the narrator is the demiurge, and when he says, I'm here to slay the princess, and if I don't, it will be the end of the world, what he means is that if I do not perpetuate the dichotomy of perceived existence, where there is other and there is self, then I will destroy the illusory world of the demiurge's prison, and I will, in actuality, free us to rejoin the Godhead. I think that is the way, at this point, I am reading what the narrator is saying, or what I should say, the demiurge is saying. We thief rewind time. Yeah, we're back at the start. What time is it? 3:20. Okay, it's probably a good time to take the bio break. Then I think we will do a path where we take the knife down. We already did a pacifist path. Well, a pacifist path. I don't know if you can call it that if you get eaten and then claw at the insides of the princess or whatever. But one thing I have definitely noticed is that, like, it doesn't go where you expect it to go, you know? It, like, we went in, we lied, she ate us, we were unarmed, but, like, the whole thing sort of flipped back and forth between antagonism and rapprochement, and where we ended up was this Really, actually, that one kind of makes sense. Because we sort of oscillated between violence and like peace, and we ended up in a place that was a superposition of. Anyway, I'm sorry. You know when you're trying to make sense of the ineffable, and frankly, linguistic values are not correct to tag to that. Like you'll note this when you get into meditation, or for anyone who has. There are times where you know language isn't sufficient to that which you are apprehending, and you are behind or beneath or above language. Language just isn't going to do it. With my understanding of the other games, Demiurge, you were correct. Sorry, what game was this again? I forgot to ask, I think. Archive, a fumble with the knife if you want the path. Okay, we could try that. Give me a starting point, possibly. Although if I go herring off in another direction... Medibel, some things just do not have words that can't convey them properly. Yeah, they don't seem to. Or they need to be told in the form of a story, if you're going to come even close. But language is very imperfect, and is only one part of the thought process, really. We really think in this gestalt, this overall impressionistic sort of conglomeration of elements. And when we communicate, we have to collapse that into an encoding that we call language, that we can then essentially squirt at each other as symbolic content, which then unpacks in the other person's mind into another gestalt. But it's not the same gestalt, where it's like the function of language is to provoke imagination. It's not really communication. If it would be spoilers somewhat as the Demiurge is revealed in the end game of a different game? Okay, well maybe we can talk about it later. Yeah, alright. I am going to go take my 5 minutes then. Thank you guys for joining me. This has been a lot of fun again. I am sorry that I was a bit surprised. I got actually kind of ticked at the gaslighting this time. That may in part be stuff that's going on in my personal life, but I think it's also just the fact that we got here again, and I'm like, okay, if there's one thing this game likes to do, it's gaslight me. And I actually started to have an emotional response to that, where I was going like, stop doing that like every other freaking sentence. Please. Yeah, I actually got kind of ticked. It's interesting. But alright everyone, thank you for coming along. We will be back very shortly. Anyone out there watching or off in VOD land later, please do consider following or subscribing if you're enjoying what I do. It really helps me out, and I really do appreciate it tremendously. And you get free emotes on the Twitch side, and you get access to the Cat Knight Keep, our Discord. Meow. But yeah, guys, we will return shortly. If it can be like that, fight back against it, Hoshi. Well, I mean, is that really the right thing to do? Anyway, something to think about. Well, it can feel a lot more personal when the narrator says you, so it feels less like addressing the character and more like addressing you directly. Well, and in this kind of storytelling game, like, this is still life, you know, we're having an experience together. And so if you're putting yourself into, like, this happens when you read books, this happens when you watch movies, or at least it does to me. If you are actually putting yourself into the point position as a protagonist, then in a sense you are taking on that world. Otherwise, what's the point? So yeah, in a sense. All right, let's go to the Be Right Back screen. And we will be right back. Thank you, everyone. See you shortly. Alright. Just a short break. We are back. Let's transition back. What has... Oh, I see. I see. Wow, that is a big dog at 7 months. Because, like, Hoshi Actual was always in sort of the 20-pound range, and even when he ran across the keyboard, he would like nearly destroy the thing. That is a big dog. Well, I hope he enjoys the show. Meow. I hope my saying meow a bunch doesn't make him jump up on the screen. Buncho. Is that how you pronounce it? Buncho? That's a cool name. Alright, are we back in? We are back in. Okay, so I think some of this... Sorry, I got caught up in the adorable dog drama. But I think RG also mentioned... Path roughly. Take the knife, go down the stairs. Hey, I'm here to kill you, question mark. What? No way. Continue as you wish from there, I think. Okay, we're gonna try. After Bancho from Dave the Diver, I never played Dave the Diver. I've heard good things. It also was just a little more money than I wanted to spend on a game that didn't look like it was right up my alley, but I have heard good things. I was thinking Sancho from Man of La Mancha, the Don Quixote musical, but that's not obviously the same name. Alright, the end of the world, blah blah blah, I don't care about any of this, let's go to the cabin.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Yes, I will.
A warning before you go any further.
It's one of the few things we know for sure. There is a princess in the cabin.
She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Okay, back in. Let us slay, question mark, the princess, question mark.
Almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are bladed.
Okay, we've done this before. Take the blade.
You take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
It's like, we don't know if we are slaying anything. We don't know if she is even a princess. She appears to be a princess at this particular level of sort of incarnational analysis. But we appear to be a hero and a monster at the same time.
Open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
Okay, we have the slightly menacing voice.
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Yes, we know. Your manipulation. Okay. Hey, I think I'm here to kill you, question mark.
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
If the woman with trusting crown, possibly princess, could be, I don't know, not a princess. Yeah, that's also very true.
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero.
Hey, we've done this before, narrator.
You walk down the stairs.
Okay, we have the slightly smaller room.
With the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
I mean, knife right here, see? Meow. I mean, we've done it before. It's not as big a deal as it was. Okay, was there something else Archie wanted me to do for this path? What? No way. What? No way, yeah. Why would you even think that?
That giant knife you're holding kind of gives it away, doesn't it?
It's not that big. It's kind of tiny, actually.
The blade. Of course she doesn't want to talk. Who'd want to have a conversation at knife point? We should drop it.
Okay, we've done this path before. We've done this part of the path, I think.
Don't you dare.
Like, we got to where we were told we could drop it or not.
We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Minabel, why would you think this knife is to kill you with? What? There are a million things I could be doing with it. I came down here to carve you sashimi, and here's how you repay me. You still haven't told me what you eat, or what your name is. Okay, let's tighten our grip this time. I dropped it before.
The trembling in your hands and tighten your grip on the blade.
Yeah, weed thief. I'm using this knife for butter, obviously. Or like to chip the chain out of the wall would be one obvious thing you could do with it.
Poor thing. Your hands are shaking. Are you scared of me? Because you should be.
I am scared of unpleasantness on the way to the great sea that is the return to our
Step
home.
forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
I probably shouldn't be because it's a video game, but you know, like if you gotta be scared of anything.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Okay, so are you sure she's not armed gets us into a path that I've already done once before in the demo. What if she isn't bluffing? What if she kills us? We've done this before, I think. I'm not dropping the blade. You know what, let's just try saying I'm not dropping the blade.
Then I'm not talking to you.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. Fine then, I guess we're at an impasse.
I guess we are.
Uh-huh.
For the love of everything, just slay her already.
I don't know, can we just stay here staring at each other and being like, why don't you do something? Why don't you? Why don't we do it?
Or drop the blade. Do something.
I'd rather do nothing. Drop the blade is the next step in what I remember. But we've dropped the blade before. We've done that one. Okay, but this is also funny. So this must lead to more than one route then.
You stare at the princess,
Squinting fiercely.
She squints back.
She does too.
The two of you are going to do this forever, aren't you?
We are. That is the plan.
You'll have to blink eventually. Just make a choice.
Can I literally blink? Because that seems good. Okay, drop the blade or slay the princess. That's all we got left. Can I just stabby stab? Can we? Okay, Archie thinks we should drop the blade. We have done this once before, but let's see what happens this time.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an uncertain
Medibel, you're not the
voice.
boss of us, narrator. I need to remember that, though. See, now that I've decided that he's the demiurge proper, he bothers me less. I think that's part of why it was upsetting me, was because I was like... I was just getting into the game, and I was being gaslit aggressively, and I was trying to make this determination of like, okay, are you an enemy, or are you a friend, or are you something completely different? We've come down on him being the demiurge.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
I don't trust that. I don't like the way you inflected that last word.
Against your better judgment, you step
I didn't
forward
say
to
that.
speak with the princess
I did not
face
say I
to
did
face.
that.
Unarmed.
We could have talked from back there. Narrator, stop
We'll be
moving my
fine.
legs.
I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So is this another one where he makes us try to kill her?
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
We don't have a relationship. And I don't plan on having one. There's people out there who think you're gonna end the world. No one thinks that but the narrator. And me, possibly. What's your name? We've done that one before. How long have you been down here? We've done that one. Do you know why I'm here to kill you? Do you know why I'm here to kill you?
Do you?
No. I mean, sort of, but not really. Made about narrator insisting on controlling the narrative. This is what he does, apparently. I know what I've been told, whether or not I believe is an entirely different matter.
So, you're not going to share? How pointless. If you want to talk, I'll talk. But this isn't talking.
How do you keep your nails clean down here? That's a good question. Okay, that loops around. I don't think we've asked her if she's coming on to us yet, because that's, like, obviously not what she's doing. But sure, let's see what happens if we ask that.
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
Okay, I find this to be a warning sign, in, quote, relationships. If someone starts saying they have a relationship with you just because they've met you, this tends to be a flag that they may have emotional boundary issues, and you should be on your guard. But anyway, meow 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 meow. How would I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
Shut up, Demiurge. We're doing other stuff now.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... Well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade.
If they've passed her by relationship, more likely. I mean,
She isn't suggesting
she's
what
not
I
wrong.
think she's suggesting, right?
Like, there is a relation, like, you are relating to someone, therefore there is a relationship. But, like, when you entitle something a relationship, it is creating a psychic object in your mind and heart type of thing. And if you accept that psychic object, it cements something in your knowing of that person. So when somebody just immediately goes like, we have a relationship,
She is. I'm sure of it.
it tends to bypass boundaries. Acquainted is probably a better term, yes. Okay,
Too long.
we've been here already. We've done all of these.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
There's people out there.
Don't just tell her that.
We've told her that before.
That's cute. Do you believe that? Do you think I'm some sort of... monster?
Sometimes you are.
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so... dangerous?
They haven't told me who they are. They haven't told me why you're dangerous. You haven't told me who you are. You haven't told me why you're chained down here. Frankly, you are chained down here because you're chained down here. It is its own ontological crap. They have their reasons. Let's tell her I'm inclined to trust her. Let's try that. I'm not inclined to trust her, but, you know.
Sooner or later, you'll understand that I have your best interests at heart.
He said this
Hopefully
before.
sooner.
Middle lady, we're not sure what we believe at this point, right? Like, that's where I'm
How
on.
sweet. Now be a pal and help me get out of here, would you? We could figure out how to deal with them after I'm free.
It would be nice if there was a route that actually manifests some them. That would be interesting. We've dangerously dangerous from the last universe. Like, she's both. She can be whatever she wants to be. She can be whatever we want her to be. We just don't know how it works yet. I don't trust you. Examine the chains. I still have a few more questions.
What do you want to know?
What's your name?
She hesitates before answering.
Can we get a name out of you in one of these universes?
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
Alright, I'm gonna call you Princess Demandy Pants.
Again, she offers
I had
no
a cat I used to call
specifics.
Princess Demandy
No matter
Pants.
how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
We've talked enough.
Oh, have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
I'm getting you out of here or slay the princess. Okay, we've tried doing this once before. Let's slay the princess at this point and see what happens.
Doubt, unfortunately,
She fights.
clouds your thoughts as you attempt to run her through. A moment of distraction and hesitation is all she needed to sidestep your thrust and deliver a catastrophic blow to your jaw.
Okay, martial arts
It feels
princess.
like you've been hit with a sledgehammer. You can feel bone grinding on bone where your jaw has been fractured. Holy shit, that hurts!
Yeah, apparently.
Though she's unarmed, the shock...
Although if she fractured her jaw, it would be like, holy shit, that
putting you
hurt.
and the princess on somewhat equal footing.
Interesting, okay.
Your blade slashes through the air again and again, and her fists connect with your body as many times or more, each impact as heavy as that first bone-crushing hit.
Why are we doing this so stupid? We should, like, step back to the range of her chains, and then it would actually be a lot easier to... Anyway, whatever.
We can still turn this around.
Flee and lock her in the basement is no longer an option, which is interesting. Let's finish the job.
You and the princess stare at each other, both gasping for breath, equally exhausted. You probably won't make it out of here alive.
Why are we so
You can
short?
at least make sure that she won't make it out of here, either.
Okay, so Pyrrhic victory route.
Excuse me? Do you think this is what I wanted to happen? I have a duty to state the facts of the situation, and honestly, it's a miracle anyone is still standing right now.
It's a miracle that she's still standing. It's not so much of a miracle that we are.
Can you not feel all those ruptured organs bouncing around in there? If the princess doesn't do our friend in herself, internal bleeding is certain to finish the job.
Do our friend in. Oh, he's talking to the hero.
The two of you clash for the final time. You feel your ribs break as she delivers a heavy blow, but you push through the pain, falling forward and sinking your blade deep into the princess's heart.
Okay, well, Pyrrhic victory. I think we die, but she dies.
The two of you fall to the floor.
This was fun.
Sure. Totomoto no shi desu ne.
The princess gasps, her voice an unhealthy rasp as her lungs start to fill with blood.
You put up more of a fight than I thought you would. But I have to wonder, do you really think this is the end?
This is very similar to an ending we've had before. Weep Thief double kill. Yeah.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark.
And you die. Alright, where are we now? Other than on a path in the roads. Chapter 2, The Adversary. Okay.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Deja vu, etc., 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 etc. But I already slew the princess. Sure, she also killed me, but I definitely got her. Why am I here again? Let's ask that one again. I can't remember.
I can assure you that you didn't slay her, and that she didn't kill you.
Right.
People don't just spring back to life after dying, and the two of us are meeting for the very first time.
Uh-huh. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Shut up, narrator.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from... That's fine. It doesn't matter if he can hear us. The only thing that matters is marching up to that cabin and winning.
Okay, the stubborn is new. So does each new route have a different voice? And do they recur on any other voices? Like is there another route that's going to have the smitten, for instance, other than just the smitten round? Annabelle, Adversary just makes me think Devil Princess. We've had Dragon Princess and like Vampire Princess, so Devil Princess wouldn't surprise me. We've time for round 2. Round 1 was double KO. Now it's 1-1.
That's the spirit. There's no point in squabbling when the real threat is just up that hill.
It's like Slay the Princess, the fighting game. Okay, we've already done all that. Let's go to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie.
Yes,
she
yes,
lying.
lie,
Cheating
cheat.
doesn't sound like her at all. Not that it matters. It's not like she can lie or cheat in the middle of a fight.
Okay, Mortal Kombat time.
Are you sure about that?
That's what's happening, I think.
The point of my warning wasn't to start an argument over what circumstances the princess is capable of lying in. It was to give you some broadly applicable advice.
You can lie in a fight with your body, you can feint and things like that, and you can also distract and lie and obfuscate with your words in a fight. So yes, you can totally lie during a fight. We Thief, I do know of one path where previous voices show up, but I don't know about any other. Okay, alright.
The princess...
Sorry. I wanted to save. The princess will do and say whatever she thinks it will take to get her out of there, so don't trust her ever. Are we clear?
Crystal. Let's just get on with it already.
What's the stubborn? Oh, he's okay. I like him so far. Let's see what kind of cabin we have this time.
The cabin is tighter than its exterior would suggest. Its cold stone walls press in on you, as if trying to forcefully direct you towards your destination.
Interesting.
The only furniture of note is a black iron altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
So we've had stone castle. This is like Paleolithic stone. I don't even know what this would be the inside of. This almost feels like someone has carved a cave. You know, when you take like an existing stone edifice and then you carve a building into it. That's interesting.
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Let's check the mirror again.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall.
It's a mirror. Wipe the mirror.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the...
silly.
There was a mirror a second ago, and now it's gone. So all of us can stop arguing about it and get to fighting.
Okay, Stubborn. Stubborn doesn't sound like Stubborn. He sounds like just he's addicted to brawling, and that's fine.
Take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Okay. Enter the basement. I've totally heard that sound effect before. That is a classic sound effect.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a rough stone staircase, its walls pressing at your sides and tightening as you descend. The air seeping from below is heavy and oppressive, with an almost sulfuric odor to it. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
Sulfuric lends itself to the idea that it is in fact a devil princess, as sulfur is one of the scents of hell. Midabel Stubborn is raring to go, yeah. He just wants to get in there and get the fisticuffs going on. Wait, Thief, time to do my Hadoken move on her.
Her fierce voice carries up the stairs.
My tiger uppercut.
Is that another challenger? Finally. It's been ages since I've had a good fight.
Okay, we are in Princess Fight Club.
This isn't what she sounded like last time. Her voice is a little deeper, almost threatening.
It was threatening last time, too.
Good. Sounds like my kind of princess.
Oh,
As much as I appreciate the enthusiasm, just make sure you don't let your bloodlust get to your head. You need to stay focused and keep your wits about you. Remember, you're here to slay the princess, not to have a good fight.
I'm actually here to have a good fight, and to do whatever I want, and to not do what you want me to do. So, go Zark
As you
yourself.
descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view.
Devil
A
Princess!
large shackle leading from her wrist to the basement
Tiny
wall.
walls.
Looks like she could rip those chains out of the wall without a second thought.
Oh, it's you again. I'd been hoping you'd find your way back here. Good to see that death doesn't stick for either of us.
Okay, she remembers again.
And you brought your little knife, too. Yes.
And she has like 3 horns, actually. She's got like a central horn. I guess maybe that's supposed to be crown-esque.
I'm going to have fun breaking you into little pieces.
Yep, consensus in the chat is definitely a Devil Princess, yes. She's got the trident tail and everything. She's 100% Devil Princess. Okay, I hope you heard all of that, Mr. Narrator. This is a lot different than last time, but last time definitely happened. I am going to say that.
What's that? Oh, that whole deja vu situation. Yes, it does seem like you and the princess remember each other, so let's say for a moment that I do believe you.
Now that's interesting. The last time she even appeared to recognize us at all, he was like, well, that's near incontrovertible evidence. This time he's going like, oh, yes, maybe. Oh, possibly. That's interesting.
For all we know, whatever happened to you last time was just a fluke, and beyond that, do you know who doesn't remember anything that happened last time? Me. I don't remember what happened last time.
I don't know that I believe him, actually. But regardless, doesn't matter.
Are you okay?
He sounds a bit miffed, yeah.
Of course I'm not okay. As far as we're all concerned, the fate of my world
Fate
is
of my
still
world.
very much on the line. Not all of us have the luxury of jumping over to a parallel universe the second we die.
So that is an unanswered question about this guy. Is there one demiurge presiding over every dimension, and are they all actually the same, therefore each iteration pretending not to remember is pretending? Or is there like a sub-demiurge incepted into every world by an overarching demiurge? I don't know. Just a moment, sorry. Meow. Okay, you look different, so you do remember me. I'm actually here to free you. I'm not saying I'm not here to fight, but I think the two of us have a few things to unpack first, like how we're both still alive. I haven't decided what I'm doing yet. Attack the princess. I don't know what happened to you since the last time we met, but I am not fighting a giant demon lady. Bye. Turn around and leave. And turn around and leave without saying anything. Okay. You look different.
You look exactly the same.
Okay, that's good to know. I thought I looked melty and stuff. So you do remember me.
Oh, I remember you all right. Best 3 minutes of my life. So, why don't we do it again?
Okay, so she's really into fighting in this iteration. We leave Demon Lady by.
See?
We could take that option.
She wants to fight us again. There's no reason for us to stand around talking.
Sure, let's do it. Actually, this may not turn out well, but I have in line with the fact that manifestation may be important here. Let's just do it.
Finally ready to complete your
That is a
task,
very different looking
you
face.
launch off the wet stone floor of the basement and catapult yourself headlong towards the princess.
Annabelle, pugilistic princess. Perfect.
Here we go.
Perfect.
Let's make this count.
I am too fond of alliteration. That's excellent.
Oh, we'll make it count, all right. As you
Stubbins
bridge the
into
gap,
it.
your blade slashes across the princess's chest, splitting skin and drawing a jagged line of bright red blood.
First blood.
But she's
Ow.
unfazed by your onslaught. Her expression barely changes as her fist collides with your ribs, cracking them like twigs and driving you right back down to the basement floor.
Why do we always end up on the floor?
You can hear her chains snap as you struggle to recover from the impact.
Arca, applause, Annabelle. I would follow her wrestling career.
She almost looks disappointed in us. Why is she disappointed in us?
Well, because we didn't do very well.
Oh, you don't actually get it, do you? That knife may be sharp, but you clearly don't want to kill me.
Huh.
It's not fun if you hesitate. It's not fun if you try to trick me and make me bleed out. It's only fun if you go straight for the heart.
But aren't you trying to trick us with that?
You need to put everything you have into seeing me dead. Or what's the point?
What's the point of any of it?
So don't be afraid. Don't hesitate. Kill me.
Don't let her get in your head. Reincarnation or not, this world needs you to win.
Weep thief cheer.
She's huge, but probably
let's get the
means
popcorn
she's slower
out.
than us. Take it slow, think it through, and don't panic. Bleeding her out is our best course of action. Don't listen to them. She understands something that they don't. The only way to win, the only way out of this is through her.
Bait an opening and outmaneuver her, straight her heart head on. Okay. See, it makes sense from a sort of mythology of the game point of view that the intention to actually kill her would be what would win. But it also makes sense that she's lying to us to manipulate us. We could also run away, this is true. But we have three main options here. Let's try to strike at her heart like she suggests. We can always come back.
If that's your plan, then that's your plan. You push off the ground, ignoring the pain in your ribs as you charge at the princess once more.
Annabelle, Narrator, we're going through worlds like they're popcorn already. It's fine. We've been through like at least a dozen
Feel
of them.
flesh give way before a sudden impact blunts your momentum. Your weapon tightly lodged in the bone of her arm. She grins at you from behind her guard.
I really don't like her teeth. Her teeth are disturbing.
Pull it out. We'll try a different angle. No, we can do this. Just keep pushing.
That, you know, in theory, it's like over her heart
We're
area.
not gonna win if our weapon's stuck in her arm.
No, this is like magic manifestation land. I think actually Stubborn may be correct here. Keep pushing.
The princess's grin widens as the two of you push against each other, her fiery eyes and masochistic glee practically lighting up the dreary cave.
It's not like she's doing anything in response. We're kind of like wiggling our arm back and forth. That would hurt a lot, actually.
Yes, you finally get it, don't you?
I don't know what I get, lady. We're just trying to figure it out. I do, lie, do. What are you talking about? Tell me, continue pushing.
Yes, you're right. We need to talk about it.
No, we don't. No, we don't. Well, I think this may be my favorite princess design so far. All right, cool. I kind of liked the dragon princess so far, I think.
Your balance is suddenly thrown off as the princess pulls you into her knee.
How? We had a knife in her arm.
It collides with your ribs, and you feel them splinter, cracking like wet wood from the impact. We're fine.
Are we, though, or are you just stubborn?
You barely have enough time to notice before the princess follows up and smashes her forehead against yours.
The fight music's kind of
Your
cool.
grip loosens from the impact, the blade still wedged in her arm as you tumble to the cold stone floor. I said we're fine.
I mean, if you say so,
I
stubborn.
didn't say you weren't fine. I was just describing what happened. You might not have said as much, but you certainly implied it. It really doesn't matter. The princess glances down at the blade embedded in her arm. With near total ignorance to pain, slides it out of its sinewy prison.
Sinewy prison, that's a cool way of putting it. With the classic villain, clash swords is the only way to talk. Like stubborn out here doing the heart, liver, lungs, nerves dance. Kinda, yeah. Merle, I also quite like the dragon one. I'm a sucker for the aesthetic of demon and draconic ladies. Can come off pretty cool.
You forgot this.
Okay, if you're rearming us, that's nice.
She tosses it at your feet.
Each side once, that doesn't mean we're immortal. Were you being metaphorical when you said that nothing exists outside of us? There's more to the world just than this cabin. I saw trees and everything on my way here. I don't care about that. Don't you want to be free, though? Isn't there more to life than waking up chained in a basement and fighting to the death in an endless loop? Actually, I think I'm done fighting you. I don't think this is healthy for either of us. Pick up the blade and attack her again. Let's see what happens.
You and the princess
Boom.
attack each other once again, each of you dealing a single,
Terrible, lethal blow. I imagine this just loops us.
Wait, does that mean we're...
Yes, we're dead again, hero.
Dead. Or rather, about to be dead. As your blade pierces her
Sigh.
sternum, the princess buries
Why
her
are we
fist
so
into the
squishy?
soft meat of your organs. You feel a few horrifically painful pops, a gush of fluid, and... it's over. It's finally over. No, it's not. We're just getting started. But it is over. Dead is dead. I know this isn't the happiest ending for you, but you saved the entire world from ruin. There are few better endings than that.
First of all, Demiurge, you're full of carp. And second of all, I think the stubborn knows what he's talking about.
Well, are you going to listen to him? Or are you going to listen to me? Get up.
I have noticed that if you follow the voices you get sort of monomaniacally, you tend to get somewhere, even if it's not great. We either have to head out now, but have a good slave to that princess, Oshi. Another good slave to the princess. We've had a couple already. No. Thank you, Weep Thief. Thanks for hanging, dude. Have a good rest of your day, sir. And we'll do our best. Okay, get up.
No, that can't be right.
It absolutely can be right. Demiurge, go zark yourself.
Your eyes bulge
And she's
open
dead.
and push yourself back to your feet. Alive.
She's still dead. Well, actually, she might push herself back up to her feet, too. We'll see.
Ah, I told you this wasn't over.
Interesting.
What about her? The blade went right through her heart.
Yeah, well, so what?
What about her? If we're fine, then she's fine. No,
You gonna get up now?
dead. She has to be... No!
Okay, we've got the Demiurge. Okay, the Demiurge is now stuck in our horror movie. This is a nice reversal. Feels good.
We're all shit out of luck, aren't we? I knew it. I told you we should all believe in her. This is perfect.
You didn't tell me we should believe in her. You told us we should just believe that this isn't over. Alright, fist fight.
The princess
I
rises
guess?
from the
She could give us the
staggering
knife
slightly,
back?
one hand wrapped around the hilt of the blade still buried in her heart.
We don't even need to start over anymore, do we? Let's go again.
Might well deal with it, narrator.
She She pulls the
It
weapon
is
from
nice
her
to finally
chest,
sort of get one
barely
back on him.
wincing, and hurls it at your feet. You know what to do. Again! But she came back. What's the point of fighting her if she can just do that?
Well, I think Stubborn just wants to fight.
All of you need to settle down. This whole situation is coming dangerously close to untethering. She clearly never actually died. You just missed her heart, that's all.
Nah, bull hockey.
Oh, we just missed her heart? Oh, of course, that's all. You were the one who said we hit her heart. You were the one who said it was finally over.
Okay, and so again, we're sort of demonstrating that the Demiurge is not omnipotent, right? Like, he
Well,
can be
I guess I
shocked,
had
he
it
can
wrong.
be overcome. But usually this happens because we subvert his expectations. It's it's like an inversion of the standard sort of narrative trope where the narrative subverts our expectations. Arca, stuff coming to a close. Look at the edges. The edges? I don't think we're getting the feathering yet. That's just sort of how it's shaded.
You guess you had it wrong. Aren't you supposed to know everything? I never said I knew everything.
Explore close to untethering. What's that supposed to mean? Yeah, let's ask.
It means nothing. I shouldn't have said that.
Close to untethering. Interesting.
But you did say it, so it means something.
Have to do with the way they tie this world together, maybe?
Oh, stop bickering over nothing. Our destiny is right in front of us. Pick up the blade and go to her. Okay, fine. That is what I meant by untethering. Do you hear him rambling on about destiny? He's lost the thread, and if you lose the thread, you won't be able to save the world.
Is it that if we break the narrative established for the world closes?
And what is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. Part of the problem with trying to sort of play this game in a narration mode is that a lot of this stuff, I think, is supposed to be intuitively experienced through the lens of the story. And instead, being on stream tends to make you want to try to articulate what is happening, whereas this is just an experience, you know? Like, sometimes the articulation is not as useful.
I don't have to answer that, and I'm not going to answer that. Why the bloody hell not? Because right now, there's still a razor-thin chance that you're able to get your act together. There are
Patterns of thought out there
that beg to be finished, but once you finish them, that's it. They change everything. There's no going back, and if I say anything else, you're going to finish one of those thoughts.
Okay, so he's explicitly explaining to us how the manifestation works in this world.
What?
The princess can't die, the princess can't die, the princess can't die, the princess can't die, the princess can't die. You mean like the princess can't die, don't you? Well, it's too late for that. I think we've all thought that one. The princess can't die, the princess can't die. I'm not going to say the princess can't die. I'm not even going to think it. Lie, the princess can't die, the princess can't die. Okay. Lie. The princess can't die.
But you did think it, didn't you?
That which cannot die, cannot die, cannot die, cannot die, cannot die is the achievement we just
I
got.
tried very hard to make this work.
Okay, so that still counts.
I don't like that resignation. Are you sure we can't just unthink it?
Well, we could we could go back to the save point.
Like I said, I'm afraid some thoughts can't be
I'll be back in a moment.
I'll be back. I'm going to pour myself a stiff drink. If I'm going to see the end of everything, I'd rather not be sober.
How does that work? You're disembodied?
So I was right. Why are all of you so glum? This is perfect, isn't it? We get to experience greatness and battle and triumph forever.
Now, was there another choice there that would have led to something else? Like, they all include the words, the princess can't die.
But I think it was the stubborn one who said, your destiny awaits, right? No, hold on. There has to be another way. What if we just leave her down here?
We've had this
What
one
if we
before.
run away? What if we convince her not to end the world? You can't reason with her. Ending the world is her fundamental nature. It's not a decision she can flip on and off. It is her.
her, but it's us too, and it's change. Like, I think the narrator is overselling just the idea that we don't want to be in stasis in the narrator's artificial creation forever.
And what exactly can't we leave her down here? Because all it would do
Because it
is
changes.
stall the inevitable.
Yeah.
And what's wrong with stalling?
Well, nothing in and of itself for a while.
Oh,
But
there's
that's
plenty
all
more
it
than
is.
stalling. The end is still the end, and I'd rather face mine head on. You mopey
I don't think you
ass.
would.
Why did you even ask us to slay her if it was going to end like this?
Like, I'd rather face my end head on. Is his way of facing the end fooling us into re-looping? Like, it's
Because
weird.
it didn't have to end like this. If you don't mind, I'd rather not spend everyone's last moments arguing with you. It's time. Yes, I suppose it is. If we fight her forever, then maybe she can't end the world. Maybe everything can still work out. I guess we'll just have to see how things play out.
Don't you get it?
Can we have the
You
game
don't have
play
to
out
shuffle your
some?
feet. What comes next is going to last forever.
Join your adversary. Okay.
With an unbreakable determination, you snatch the blade from the floor and stumble back to your feet. Both you and the princess quake with adrenaline as your eyes lock across the basement floor and share a knowing look. Free from hesitation, you close the distance, both you and the princess aiming to end each other.
I don't think we are aiming to end each other.
Your blade digs into her neck, grinding against her vertebrae as her fist connects with your body. The impact forces the air from your lungs, stars dancing in front of your eyes as you fail to keep your bearing. You both collapse to the ground before either of you has a chance to survey the damage. And then we get up.
Okay, so we're stuck in Fight Club.
And then you get up.
Huh.
That was a good one. More.
You and the princess exchange dozens of devastating
Oh, man.
blows. Sometimes
This
you
one in
manage to
particular.
fight, and sometimes she tears through you before you have a chance to
Ugh.
act. But more often than not, each of you fells the other in the same
Yeah, okay,
moment.
the knife is bloody, I noticed. That is true. No, it didn't start bloody. It's been bloody since we first stabbed into her, though. But when we came
And
down
then
here,
you
it
get
wasn't.
up and do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again,
Again.
and again. We're all still here,
Okay,
This is
now
all
it's
gonna be
threading
okay.
out. It's interesting.
isn't it? Isn't it?
But he doesn't answer the voice. He'll never answer. He's gone. The narrator? Narrator's gone.
What are you waiting for? I'm right here. Do you think this is...
This is another vessel. We've hollowed her out to nothing but desire for combat. She's nothing but a fighting machine now. She's about to be taken.
What is this place?
Did we do this?
Yes, we did. Midabel Stubborn is getting what he wanted, kind of.
Huh.
Not for much
I didn't
longer.
think we had it in us. But I guess that stuck-up control freak was right. It's the end of the world, isn't it? It's the end of everything.
Temporarily.
Far from it. We're still here. And she's still here too.
She looks disoriented. The princess stumbles and her body slumps.
I feel so tired.
Yeah, well, we've been fighting for like infinite years. There we go. There. Okay, she's being taken now. Okay, I think distilled might be a better term. Maybe? I don't know. But she's like... Monomania is effectively a form of emptiness, in a way. It's close enough. You do not get the chance to respond, nor will you ever. It's time to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
We will find her through the mirror. Let's go.
Where's that mirror again? Why is it here? Why now?
Of course you're scared, blah blah blah. I'm not gonna bother to comfort them anymore. That just feels like lying.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess.
It's through the mirror, Mr. Stubborn. You can totally find that. Voices feel small, distant as you approach. Gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. Ooh, the remains you've unraveled. So, now we're all... Why doesn't this reflect us properly anymore? And is it happening progressively every time we bring a new vessel, or is it different depending on each vessel? I can't tell. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. Sorry, my voice is going. Just a second. My apologies. You are at the cabin. Approach.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there.
Now, in the Gnostic demiurgic supposition, that is the rest of the kingdom of God.
Do you know what we'll find out there?
Not in detail. Is that a rhetorical question? Do you know? Do you want to tell me? If we're the same, we would know that, right?
Rhetorical. I am not rhetorical. I have only known these spaces, and I have known flickers of the lives you've brought me, short and violent and full of passion. But all of those flickers end where the long quiet begins. I'm asking you because I cannot know your mind. Do you know what we'll find out there?
I mean, I don't. Because, like, we could say this, but I don't know if they're real. But at least there are supposed to be people, makes sense. So, there's trees and stars, and there are people, I think. At least there are supposed to be people.
There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
Yes, they do. They don't last as individuals in a single life. They are as eternal as our characters are. It's just that each iteration changes, just like we change. Do you think that anything is real out there? Do you think that we're real?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Okay. It's a bit of a solipsism, but I take your meaning. Do you have thoughts on this vessel in particular?
This one yearns to grow and struggle. Even now I feel a will pushing against mine, not realizing that we are one. She will make for a fierce heart.
We got fierce again. I'm gonna have to go back and examine that and see if fierce was the one we got from the other
Do
one.
not mourn her. We will provide her with the growth she fought for.
I also don't know if I agree with that in a narrative sense. She wasn't really interested in growth. She was interested in struggle, certainly, but it was a kind of... The narrator almost said it best. It was like a masochistic struggle. She was mostly struggling for the sake of the struggle, and that is not actually an avenue to growth. It's if anything, it's like an ersatz. It's a substitute for growth. You feel that you are struggling against something, but you're not going anywhere. You're looping. It's interesting. Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken?
If I did, I would already be awake.
Alright, fair enough. When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator, and he wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessels had one? Interesting. Okay.
No. Their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
So these endings, quote, endings, are sort of independent of each other then? I thought she might build on what she'd said last time about the narrator, but no. It's like she hasn't encountered that ending before. Okay, so I believe he lives in the spaces beyond. We can either get her to keep that to herself. We can declare we're going to kill her. I don't know what I'm going to do when I find him. He doesn't when I find him. You and I are finally going to have answers. That sounds closest to what I actually feel.
Do not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves.
Okay. That's a very Gnostic perspective, too. Well, you say something different this time.
One. Whatever you bring me next will
One
be
more
and then
vessel.
gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular. A final multitude.
One more vessel and we can get an ending, is what I think it's saying. Interesting. That surprises me. I figured she'd just be like, who knows? You'll know when you know. If this is the last time, is there anything you would like me to bring you? If this is the last stage for your completion, then I'm not going back. I'm just going to stay here. That would probably just lock us out. Arca, last vessel. Admittable. Oh, an actual answer, yeah. Is there anything specific?
These gifts are a conversation.
No.
And each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
Okay. Well, I'm ready to go back then.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
The singing is much clearer this time, by the way, if you guys didn't notice in the, quote, long quiet. It's a very clear female voice singing this time. Everything goes dark, and you die. A fierce wrestle. Bring the adversary to her.
You're on a path in the woods.
Okay, we're on a path in the
And
woods.
at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Okay, so there's just one more that we need to do, apparently.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A
Okay.
warning. She
Maybe we
will
can
lie.
skip this.
We're not going to go through with this, right? Ignore him. He doesn't know what...
He rarely knows what he's talking about. Alright, save again. Let's see if we can manifest the one that I didn't do the first time that I meant to
The
do.
cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay, we do take the blade this
You
time.
take the blade from the table.
See, no
It'll be
blood.
rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
No blood on the blade yet, because we haven't done any stabby stab.
The door to the basement creaks open, her voice.
Who's there?
She sounds...
there?
Don't let it fool you.
Okay. So I think we just say hi.
Don't be a stranger. And it's been so long since I've had any visitors. Come on down.
You walk down the stairs
Hello.
and lock eyes with the princess. She's so
Heavy
coldly
chain,
beautiful.
coldly
Focus
beautiful.
on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Yeah. Still your nerves and step forward.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your resolve.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
Okay, so this is the one that I meant to do the very first time. Let's see if we can do it.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Are you sure she's not armed? Thus guaranteeing that, at least the first time I did this, she becomes armed.
I'm positive.
Narrator's positive.
I'm not. But we'll keep our eyes peeled.
We're not.
If she has a weapon, she'll have to draw it before she can use it.
Mm-hmm.
Hesitating? Why don't you drop the knife and the two of us can be civilized with each other?
Slay the princess.
You charge the princess, blade in hand, but unfortunately your earlier suspicion...
Yes, this is what happened.
A blade of her own slips down her sleeve and catches you in the neck. Blood sprays from the cut, your severed carotid artery painting the princess with strokes of red. You'd better finish your task quickly before you run out of time.
Look at that face. She got like little jagged teeth this time, and she looks delighted with herself for what she just pulled off. Finish the job.
With the last bit of your will, you press forward,
Okay.
sinking the blade deep into the princess's heart.
So we traded blows again,
Oh,
and we manifested the knife for her.
The two of you collapse on the floor together.
She looks pretty happy about the situation, though.
somehow, I thought this would turn out a little differently. But I wonder, do you really think that this was enough to stop me?
Stop is a loaded
It's like
phrase
she's
to use there.
convinced she can't
Loaded
die.
term.
But you don't have time to worry over such things. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The Razor, Chapter 2.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of
Okay.
that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Now, in the demo, we were able to go in, but then it ended, and we couldn't really do anything with this loop in the demo. So let's proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Annabelle, I have no idea what this princess could be. I'm not sure either. The fact that she's called the Razor makes me think that maybe this, like, maybe it's patterned around the fact that she manifested a knife, or we manifested her a knife, but we'll see.
He couldn't be more on the money. But we're really doing this, aren't we? I'd say you're lost, but I'm stuck here with you.
Voice of the Cheated. That's new.
We know what to look out for this time. We know to be careful.
Oh, this one's gonna be Trixie, I think.
Just stay focused and you'll be fine.
Might be good advice from the narrator for once.
The interior of the cabin is a
Dude.
jagged mess of warped wood and broken boards, their splintered edges as uninviting as shattered glass. The only furniture of note is a pointed table with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
That should just slide right off. There is no way that should be holding that up. We have a mirror
The
again.
blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Okay, let's save again. Let's approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the bed. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror.
Let's wipe the mirror.
You reach
There's
forward.
nothing
rub
again.
what- There was a mirror a second. Now it's gone. Yet another thing in here playing tricks on us. I hate this place.
Oh, so he's like a resentful sort of... Oh, interesting, okay. Maybe the maintenance guy should be fired. This is like maintenance guy decided to like rent the place out for dangerous and loud parties. Yeah. Okay, take the blade.
You take the blade from the table.
It is called the Razor
It
after
will
all.
be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
Let's see what is down the stairs.
It feels a bit better to have a weapon in our hands. Let's make her hurt for what she's done to us.
Oh yeah, he's a very resentful bloke.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing what must once have been stairs. The fractured slats look as if they've been torn from their source and violently jammed into the wall.
Sure does, man. Wow.
The air seeping up from below has an almost metallic quality to it, like the smell of fresh blood. And you can hear what sounds like the rhythmic scraping of metal coming from down below. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
This place looks like it's likely to give us splinters. Hello, Sunsail. Welcome to the stream, sir. How's it going? We are, well, We're heading down out of the sun, not that there's a lot of sun in this world.
Scraping? She's not even trying to hide her knife. It's like she wants to get in our head.
Okay, so it is, this one's focused around the fact that we manifested a knife to her. And hello, Protron! Welcome to the stream. How's it going?
That sound could be anything. It's probably just her chains dragging across the floor. I am begging you to get out of your head.
Yeah.
Her grating voice carries up the stairs.
I hope you've come to rescue me. I've been stuck down here forever.
That sounded a little robotic, didn't it?
There is something so wrong with that voice.
Yeah, that did not sound right. Ah, since Vod's always there.
Yeah, she thinks she's better than us. Like she doesn't even have to put on an act this time.
He's got a bit of a nasal twang to his voice. The cheat it does.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view, her sharp eyes following you from across the room.
She looks remarkably like that's one of the most prosaically normal looks, but there's something wrong about it. You know what I mean? There's something wrong about that. Midwell, android princess. Android princess, possibly? I hope not.
Finally, somebody! Quick, get me out of these chains. We're not safe here.
She's got her hands behind her back. That worries me.
Come on now, we're not falling for that, are we? She's trying to trick us, but she can't hide that threatening edge to her voice. She just wants us to get close, to let our guard down.
She has a very mischievous look on her face.
If she sounds threatening, it's because her mask is already slipping. She knows why you're here. You are armed, after all.
What are you waiting for? You are here to rescue me, right?
I really don't like this. She sounds like she's talking from down a well or something. What does that mean? What does that mean? Okay, if I come close to you, you're just going to stab me, aren't you? Do you remember what happened last time? I know you have a knife. I'll let you out of here if you drop it. I'd like to trust you, but you're being so suspicious right now. Can we just talk things through? I don't have the key. We killed each other last time. I'd rather not do that again. Look, I know that you're mad at me, but I think we both just need to let bygones be bygones. What happened after you died last time? What if we're both honest with each other? I was sent here to stop you from ending the world, and you slashed my throat last time. Nobody has to die. Okay, what are you going to do if I let you out? Okay, I'm coming closer to free you. You'd better not try anything. Yeah, I'm not trusting this. Bye. And screw it, slay the princess. Okay. I think we might actually end up having to use this save. What happens if I just kill her? What happens if I do?
The princess falls silent.
I doubt it.
Her smile unwavering as you charge across the room.
But we saved.
Okay, she hasn't pulled out a knife yet, and her hands are still behind her back. I think we can do this. I think we can win.
I don't think we can if that's what you're saying.
Strike now, but make sure you keep your eyes on those hands. I don't trust her for a second.
Neither do I, and you're thinking too hard, and that is actually kind of worrisome.
But your focus is broken by the horrible sound of metal slicing through meat.
Yeah, I thought that might not work. Okay.
Whose meat? Not ours, right?
Totally ours.
Hers, at first, then yours.
Wait, it goes through her body into ours? Is that what happened?
How? What did she even hit us with? You stare down at your chest and at the long, thin blade she impaled you with.
From behind? Because that looks like it was from behind.
And then the red, angry slit along the flesh of her thigh, where the blade had been nestled just a moment ago. It's still lodged in her leg, emerging from her knee, hinging up and out of her body like some extra metallic limb.
Okay, this may explain the android voice.
Bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Do you feel more cheated now, Mr. Cheated?
You're going to die now.
Yeah, she's an
With a
android.
twist of her knee and a painful squelch, she does just that. Everything goes dark.
And you
And you
die.
die.
The arms race! Oh, interesting.
You're on a path in the woods. No, fuck that. If we're gonna have to keep doing this over and over and over again, we're not starting in that goddamn woods every time. We're starting in the fucking cabin.
Okay, alright, sounds good.
You're what? The interior of the cabin is sharp. A restricting mess of curved and battered sheet metal pushing you towards... Wait, excuse me? What just happened?
What did you just do?
I just overwrote the narrator. Hold on. I like this. Arca, another favorite. Alright, alright.
I feel dizzy.
And the hero is not keeping up very well. That's cool. Minibel, oh my god, I was making a joke. I didn't think she would be an android type of thing. I don't know if it's like full-on android, but she definitely had some sort of adamantine blade in her leg.
Oh ho ho ho! I guess I took us to the cabin, didn't I? Isn't that interesting? Who holds the cards now?
Yes, the cheated is manifesting based on sheer annoyance and resentfulness, which is very interesting. Arc of the Souls-like mindset begins. Ooh.
The circle's getting smaller and smaller. Running isn't an option anymore. We have to fight.
Is it? Because the Souls-like mindscape is that you do things methodically time after time. You learn the pattern, you die, and you repeat. So, like... I don't feel like that's the way this game has worked, but anyway, maybe we'll from here.
Good. It's better that way.
Oh, Stubborn's
Without
back.
a fight, no one can win, and if no one can win, then nothing has any meaning.
Oh, guys, we have people back.
Obviously, you've already been here. How many times?
Many times, narrator. At least you're catching up this time.
This is our third?
No, this is like our 17th or something. We've died many, many times. Yeah, Protron. Imagine if she pulled up with the Wolverine claws now, though. That's how it felt to me, sort of. Like she was that kind of thing. Like something came out of her leg, and it was a Wolverine-style blade. It was weird. Okay, oh my bad. The League of Legends, what the frell was that mindset be?
No wonder things have fallen apart. You do realize that every time you fail, she escapes, and an entire world is damned to destruction. Right?
Okay, but you make those worlds, Mr. Narrator, and also I don't believe a word you say.
That can't be right. That's too much responsibility.
Whether or not it's a lot of responsibility doesn't have anything to do with whether or not I think it's true or not.
Nah, impossibly high stakes make the fight so much better. Let's just stay focused, shall we?
Indeed.
The only furniture of note is a bent metal table. A pristine blade perched. We take it.
Okay, we just take the blade.
So you take the blade before letting me finish telling you it's there. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
I don't know. She can punch us to death. We should be able to punch her to death. That feels like something we should be able to do reciprocally, but...
This feels right. We just have to keep our senses sharp.
Okay, everyone's come back. Everyone's back.
That's right. We've got to be able to win eventually. We will win eventually. Hell, we might even win now. That's a fighting spirit I like to see. You could all learn a thing or two from this one. I'd love to get started just as much as you would, but how are we supposed to get down there?
Behind or through the mirror, I'm guessing?
Walk through the door. You do know what doors are, right?
There is no door this time, Narrator.
But there isn't a door. It's just that mirror again. There isn't a mirror. You really messed things up, didn't you? It's like you can't even see reality anymore. I can feel the air coming up from behind it, stinking of iron and steel. He might be right. Could be a trick. If our other senses can't feel it, then we can't trust it.
Interesting.
If it's in our way, let's just break it and move on.
So who's the one we should trust this time? Is it cheated still, do you think?
You make your way to the door at the end of the room, stopping just in front of it. You really must think you're looking at a mirror. Well, it doesn't exist. Just reach forward and open it. Let's just fumble for the handle and be done with it. I don't care what we look like. I care about getting to the end of this mess.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and
There
place
we
your
go.
hand on the door to the basement. It creaks open.
Cool. This time the mirror actually did something, sort of.
And the mirror's gone. How surprising.
That's what it tends to do.
It was never there. Just an illusion. Let's just get to the princess already.
I don't think it's just an illusion.
Before, I care about it even less now.
I think it's symbolic.
Guess it's time for us to see her again.
But I think it's symbolic of something that's really supposed to exist for us.
Just stay focused and you'll be fine. You step forward, but you don't get a chance to linger on the basement stairs. They are smooth and flat and metallic. An unintentional and unfortunately slippery ramp that quickly sends you skittering to the bottom.
We got like 2 frames of that picture to look at.
Your body tumbles onto the basement floor and the form of the princess comes into view, standing at a distance. She gives you a wry smile.
Her dress looks like it's composed of panes of glass or maybe shards of metal. It's a neat look.
Hi. It looks like you don't have a way out, so I'm not going to play dumb anymore.
She has robot talk. Arca, hi.
But don't worry about how bad you did last time. That's part of the fun.
Oh boy. Okay, video game avatar princess.
If she thinks we're going down easy again.
I don't know, we'll see.
Instead, the only thing that matters is survival. Actually, does survival matter? We've died twice and nothing bad has come of it. We just need to find a way to win once.
Yeah, we need to remember, our goal is not to survive exactly. Our goal is to get her to become a single element or empty of elements.
Nothing bad has come of it yet.
What could we goad her towards?
Plenty bad has come of it. You've left at least one entire world to ruin. The people there mattered.
There were no people there.
The past isn't real. There's only here and now. Your internal bickering is cut short by the wet sound of slicing.
Okay.
Meat. From the princess's arms erupt twin blades, glistening with her blood, the empty flesh of her arms flopping at her elbows like torn sleeves. The chain clatters to the floor.
So yeah, what Protron was saying about Wolverine claws, that, only more horrific and, less recoverable. Ugh.
She's loose, and she is coming for you.
Okay, so can we just hollow her out into, like, Terminator killing machine? Is that how this is gonna work?
You're going to make me walk over to you, aren't you?
Am I?
Shit. Coming for us and I'm out of ideas.
We haven't gotten to do anything yet. It's all just like what's happening. Okay, alright. Let's save. Because I think we'll be able to get a vessel out of here one way or another if we get this right. Alright, we're going to fight her again, and we're going to have a stiff upper lip about it. She can't hurt us if we don't let ourselves feel it. We're going to appeal to her authority, puff her up a bit. There's no reason we can't talk this out. We're going to unconditionally surrender. Oh, that's easy. I'm going to try flirting with her. She has swords for arms and we don't. Panicking. Middable. This game has some interesting body horror, yeah. I feel like this one is freaking me out less because of Wolverine as an idea, although this is certainly pretty bad. I don't know, maybe I've spent too much time in like lucid dream nightmare worlds, so this stuff doesn't freak me out as much. Ain't no way, bruh. Alright, let's see what happens, guys. She wins by killing us, right? So let's beat her to it. All these suck. Let's think up something better. I want to try that one.
Yeah, that's right. We just have to think. There's probably an answer if we think.
We might get killed while we're thinking.
Just standing there, huh? A bold strategy.
It is, isn't it?
You don't have time to finish your thought. In a moment, she's across the room, blades flashing in the dim starlight.
This is a particularly creepy one, though. This is true.
She skewers you.
Alright.
Ow.
I think we're gonna have to load.
What a surprise. Yeah. We don't even get a second to think without her stabbing us.
You know.
Oh, a new one of us.
Yeah, who is
I
that?
thought that only happens when we die. Did we die?
I mean, notionally we died?
You're on a... No, you're in a... Where the hell are you?
I don't know.
I don't like that we died without us knowing it.
We're in Fight Club, apparently.
This really, really blurs some lines that I prefer not to be blurred. Are we still dead? Are we alive again? How are we even supposed to know the difference?
She looks like she's about to give us a big hug, and it's not going to be a good kind of hug. Arca, this funny one where you flirt with her, curious if it can still be procced. I could go back and load it later. Middle, big mood. I have lived off of horror since my tweens. Very little actually scares me, bothers me, but I find a lot of it neat. This game does some neat things. Yeah, I would agree. It does a lot neat. This is one of the weird things about growing up in our not everybody will get this, but a lot of us will get incredibly desensitized after going through what are some really pretty horrendous things that we never should have had to go through because of the kind of media that gets presented to us and things like that. So by now, I've been through existential crises and come out the other side, and this kind of stuff doesn't bother me as much.
Stop saying
But yeah.
dead, all of you. We might have died a second ago, but right now we're extremely not dead. This is all horribly wrong. How
That's
many
good.
times
We
have
are not
been-
dead right now. This is true.
This is 4.
This is 4 for this cycle. Since the thing that gets a person are usually in imagination. Yeah, it's
No wonder everything's such a mess. This wasn't supposed to go past 1.
And in a way, this whole game is sort of themed on that. But like there's nothing to fear but fear itself type of thing. Our fears certainly get manifested and come around back to us.
I wonder what you're going to do next. You're so full of ideas, and I love that.
Thanks. Kilotron 5000? Like, what the frill?
Well, I guess we don't have time to talk about things before the princess advances.
So she's just gonna keep making us into sashimi over and over again?
Whatever we do gets us another us. Let's see how many we can stack. There's got to be a point where it makes us better than her.
Are we gonna become Legion?
We don't need any other voices chattering about in here. It'll just confuse us. All we need is to keep fighting.
That's fine, Stubborn. That's exactly what you're supposed to say. We're glad you're here.
Yeah, I'll pass on that.
That's what you're supposed to say.
As long as we keep moving.
Also what you're supposed to say.
Come on, show me something new.
Okay, plan now.
Voice of the skeptic. Okay, we're gonna fight again. We're gonna stiff upper left about it. We're gonna appeal to her authority. We're going to unconditionally surrender. She wins by killing us, right? So let's beat her to it. Alright, let's save again. Let's try the flirting one, because Archie says it's funny. That's easy. I'm going to try flirting with her. This is going to get, the smitten back, possibly. It doesn't work, and she kills you again, and again, and again. Your memory blurs as your consciousness leaps from life to life to life, holding only snippets of the conflict that transpires. Proton, but what if you have a gun in this situation?
Compliment her.
That might work.
Gleaming blades.
There he is.
Nothing better than a capable woman.
She
skewers you.
She skewers you.
You're cute.
Thanks. I
There's more
appreciate
of us.
that.
Let's see if that helps. Then you skewer yourself.
What?
I thought we both understood that dying doesn't get you anywhere.
Why did that one happen?
Huh. That didn't do much of anything. We're tougher than I thought.
Voice of the contrarian. That's getting confusing.
What's the point? It's all the same.
She skewers you.
Dude.
Oh, don't give up on me just yet. You gotta keep going.
So is it going through all the options now?
Doesn't matter
Just automatically?
how many times this takes, we can't give up. Okay, let's go again. Just panic. Flee.
Yeah, okay. This is so we really just get to choose which one we do first and go through completely, and then it goes through all the rest of them automatically.
She skewers you.
No, you don't get to escape. That's not how this works.
I thought we've got rogue voices.
See?
We're pulling them all in. That's interesting.
Okay, yeah. That was a good one. She's going to kill this body either way. So stop feeling what it feels.
I remember the cold.
She skewers you.
Ooh, not bad. Real tough.
Yeah, I was a tough guy in that one. Look at her arms, like, becoming more and more multi-spikety.
We're getting close to something, can't you feel it? One last time. You're right. One last time. That's all we need.
I mean, we're in a pipe right now. We're going through. It's not letting us do anything, so we'll see where it goes.
Nature. We haven't tried that. I'm sure she'll listen to reason.
Have we run into the opportunist yet? I don't think we have. I think he's entirely new. Sigh.
And then everything goes dark, and you die.
I'm so surprised. Chapter 4! Mutually assured destruction. Okay, we haven't been to a chapter 4
don't
yet.
lose your head. We're in a cabin, and we'll take it from there. Feels like it finally fits, doesn't it? We're up here, which is different, and different is good. And our steel claw is already in our hand.
Hunted always calls it that.
Ho-ho! What if we throw it out the window?
Which window would that be? You mean these scars in the walls?
Over my dead body.
Alright.
That won't be very hard. We've died a lot. But I can't say I mind anymore.
It has been made meaningless.
Besides, what better way to die so very many times than at the sharp hands of a beautiful woman?
Those aren't hands, and she doesn't look very pretty when she's doing that.
Sure, I can think of a better way to die. Yeah, they're all the same, really.
That's a lot of voices.
How about we stop thinking about horrible ways to die? I don't want us to accidentally manifest anything.
Again, saying it outright. That's nice. That's
The only
good.
thing we're gonna manifest is finally ending up on top. There are entirely too many of you. How many times have you been here? This isn't good. This is about
17,
you stick to describing
yeah.
things, and we'll stick to doing them. Yeah, leave it to the pros. We'll notch up that win in no time.
You know what? There's just no space for me to narrate. I just need to let them do the narration.
Narrator, we heroically stride through the door and towards our destined final encounter with our star-crossed lover.
It sounds like a lot of very passionate and monomaniacal people are playing Dungeons and Dragons, and there's just too many of them at the table. Yeah, Medibel, it's gotten crowded in here.
Fine by me.
I don't need to do commentary.
Walk
There-
to the door and onto the basement stairs, only it's more of a slide. We know.
Whoa!
I'll just shut up then and speed this whole thing along.
Good. Good Demiurge. Get out of the way.
Sure you don't want me to describe the stairs, or this room, or anything? It feels like I'm hardly a part of this.
That's for the best. We may come to kill you later. It may not be necessary.
Don't care, just want to win.
Yeah.
Fine. You make your way to the basement, where the princess awaits you.
Hello again.
You know, this last time I killed you, and you didn't pop right back up again?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I'd actually done it. I thought I'd cut you into so many pieces you just weren't able to stitch yourself back together.
I don't think that's how it works. I think the whole universe gets reconstituted, type of thing. Well, everyone's so done with the narrator.
But I guess we're not done.
He's
That's
very
okay with me.
unreliable.
It's good even. I like that. I got something ready for you while you were gone. Do you want to see it?
I think you're gonna show me anyway, princess.
I'm not going to wait for an answer. I'm just going to show you.
What do you
it's
know?
worth it though. Just you wait, and not for very long, because I'm going to do it right now.
Is it a gun? Is Proton right? Is it a gun this time?
Are you going to say what she does? Do you want me to talk now?
Well, I think you are now a functionary of her, but anyway.
Well, yeah, she says she has something new. I want to hear about the new thing. Yeah, me too. I think I speak for all of us when I say that I would like to hear you describe her new thing.
I mean, I think I'd like to hear you describe her get taken by Labyrinth-hands, but you know.
Really? Okay then.
Don't beg for the narrator to do things, man.
Here we go. Now.
The princess's skin twists, splitting into red blooms
Ew.
of as it stretches and tears.
Dude.
And then she becomes a wave of blood and viscera, pieces of her splattering against the walls.
Ugh.
All that remains in the center of the room is a skeleton of blades. A heart beats furiously in its cage of a chest.
Arca, behold steel golem with added flesh heart. Yeah, actually, I was thinking some sort of like metal crystalline skeleton, but steel golem's pretty good actually.
Are you ready for what comes next?
I think we aim for the heart.
Holy shit!
Appropriate.
She's gorgeous.
Absolutely divine.
Okay, so Smitten is just not even on the plot.
Yes, behold the perfect woman.
Proton, not gonna lie, it's kind of bad though. Kind of badly drawn. Kind of bad situation.
Do you
It is kind of bad.
throw her out the window?
I doubt it, but I'd give it a try, possibly.
That looked painful.
I don't think she feels pain the same way.
How is she still alive?
Minabel makes you think of the scorn flukes from Sunless Ski Skies. Vaguely remembering that, yes. Those were those, like, automated sort of living... They were automated creatures that became independent and just sort of lived on.
Heart's
They were cool.
still beating, that's all she needs. This is fake. This is all fake. That's all just made up. She doesn't even have a back anymore. How are we supposed to stab her in it?
This is all just a sick joke. I hate existing.
We're screwed. I quit. I'm done. Forget it.
You guys all wanted the narrator to tell you what she was going to do. Everybody's talking at once. Into your mind.
What just happened? It's so quiet.
Well, we cleared out all our projections. Him too.
Something feels different about you. It almost makes me feel different. Like I should actually take this seriously for once.
Yeah, Mirabel. The ones that were all spikes blades like an Elder Sea Urchin. I'm gonna have to go back and play. I didn't Sunless Sea was a bit too much for me because it's just so grueling to restart over and over, but I like Sunless Skies a lot. It was a lot of fun. How does she talk anymore? I'm imagining she's just like vibrating her blades and they're producing like sonic frequencies in patterns. You do not act, and yet through that inaction, your body moves on its own. The princess strikes as you approach, but as her blow finishes its arc, you are already somewhere else.
You're incredible.
I am now, somehow. Your weapons clash again and again, you and her entering a rhythm free of thought and free of self. There is only the dance, the ebb and flow, the shifting of the tides back and forth between you. So, this is the way we hollowed a vessel this time, or shaped a vessel this time. Into the blade dance. The deeper you fall into your play, the faster your hearts pound, and the faster the momentum volleys between you. An endlessly building crescendo, and then an opening. Senso, you are narrator. Yes, now I am narrator. Meow. Your blade strikes free of volition, and hers strikes too. Water and steel, master yourself and vanquish a sharp foe. Both strikes are lethal, neither of you will survive, but neither of you fear what's to come. This is a good ending. Proton, how's she walking with blade legs too? I mean, that's a good question as well. Certainly. Okay, she got taken. She got taken. And we have no voices. We have no voices to be scared. You do not get to see each other die, nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns. Hey, we don't have scared voices this time. That's nice. You approach the mirror. Gaze into your reflection. Now, are we just going to be bones this time? Like, what are we going to... I'm a little worried. We're nothing! You are nothing at all. We're not even there. Oh, there's sort of like a raven. You guys see that? There's like an eye and a beak and some teeth. But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze and then you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection. Explore. Are you me?
I think you know what I am.
Oh, it's the demiurge! Hey! A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. Wait! Is this the corner in the narrator's universe that we were supposed to find in Break? And that's why he was always like, there's no mirror there? Because it's like an aspect of him? Ah... Okay, so you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get to see you. Explore, what are you? Are you something like me? If you're not me, then what are you? I have so many questions for you. Does it hurt when pieces of you break off like this? I'm sorry, I don't want to destroy you. Will it help if I look away or stop asking questions? Every time I ask you something, it's like a piece of you breaks. Are you a part of me, or are you something else? You're the one who wanted me to slay the princess. Why? Okay, we're just gonna have to ask all of these. I've met you many times. Have you been the same you all along? I wasn't supposed to see all this, was I? What's this place? Where are we? Or destroy the mirror? Until chills. Protron, well. Mehetabel, we meet at last. Now, I wouldn't put it past the game that this is an elaborate lie, but yeah, he's got multiple... It's like a crow or a raven with many eyes and teeth. And... Interesting. Okay, so you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get to see you.
The narrator. Yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help, after all. An objective voice to guide your blade.
Kind of talks.
You were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
But didn't you just create those worlds out of nothing? Oh, okay. So when I ask something, I lose a shard. We're probably not going to be able to ask him everything. What are you? Are you
I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo. Likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
Again, that sounds like the demiurge. Something made me, something made him. But he's taking that prisoner, that imprisoning warden role Okay, we're only going to get so many. Others like you, you've said something like that before. Has every narrator really been different?
Of course. That is by both necessity and design.
I should have saved sooner. Darn it, hold on. So I can come back here later and investigate.
This construct you're in exists in many places at once. Anytime you failed, anytime you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both your consciousness and hers into another world. But you'll be awake soon. And then it won't be able to work like that anymore.
Okay, so he's acknowledging that we've almost found our way out of it. Do you have anything to say for yourself for all this hubris, everything you've done to us? Do you think anyone deserves to live? Does it hurt? Every time I ask you something, it's like a piece of you breaks. I really want to ask this one. Where is it? So you do know about the looping. So many of the times I met you, you denied it. Why did you lie to me? What is the princess? Did you make her too? Well, these have changed. Let's make sure we have a chance to ask this, even though he may lie. What is my true identity?
You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
Really? I don't know if I believe you. We're the long quiet, but you wanted me to destroy the other part of myself. That doesn't make a lot of sense. That doesn't make a lot of sense. Okay, why did you lie to me if you're aware of the looping?
Any other version of me you talked to was just that, a version of me. It wasn't me. As to why they lied, perhaps they thought that admitting to it would have pushed you to certain realizations that would have made finishing your task impossible. Maybe they were just in denial.
But I did not finish my task, or at least I didn't finish the task you set me to. This is so weird, guys.
I'm sure many of them were convinced that they had to be the first version of them you'd encountered. Anything else would have been too existentially unpleasant. For all I know, each of those other versions of me could have had entirely different understandings of how this construct works. Who's to say which of them are right and which of them are wrong, really? Except for me. I can tell you for a fact that I'm right.
I am correct. I am the real correct one, and all the other ones thought that too, but I am the real one, definitely. Huh. So, like, if he says that we're a god, we can't be a god. We can be something like... How do I put this? If he is defining this as God, then it is much smaller than capital G God. And he himself is also... Like, he talks of the one that created him and created the construct. That would be actually a god. We would be some sort of functionary constructed to fulfill a role. So, like, I don't know if I want him... He's still gaslighting us, is how I feel. Do you have anything to say for yourself for all this hubris?
I do. The people out there are real. No matter what you do to them, no matter what you enable, I want you to remember that.
I still haven't run into any. Okay. Every time I ask you something, it's like a piece of you breaks. This seems obvious, but maybe he'll have something sort of ontological to tell us about it.
I'm aware. And if I were you, I'd be more precious about your time.
That wasn't helpful. That was just pointing out the... Okay, I was afraid that would be a waste. Okay, the people out there beyond the walls of the construct. Do they know about this? Do they know what you want me to do to them?
Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion.
Weird.
When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end. Soon I'll be gone entirely, and you'll be left alone with your final choice. So allow me to make my final request. The princess contains death itself within her, but I wove you into being with all the power you need to destroy her forever. Do it. Slay her, and rid the world of death and suffering.
See, this still feels like ultimately we are being obfuscated, like the truth is still being obfuscated from us, and we are still being lied to and led down a false path. And it's all back to the same dichotomy, the same slay the princess, save the world dichotomy, despite the fact that we've gone up multiple levels of analysis. So what do you say the princess is?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can.
Okay, but if she is transformation and change and we kill her, then that ends the potential for anything. That creates the unchanging, that creates nothingness.
So I tucked a part of myself into the folds of this construct to guide you.
And what he wants us to create stasis by destroying change, so that he can exist in a perfect, unchanging, crystallized universe.
Seems that every me you met did a real shit job of it, though.
That I would agree. Death of the author, run out of questions. Okay. I think you're out of time. I'm not going to slay her, and I want you to know that before you die for good. Say nothing and watch him end. I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. I still have to see what she thinks about all of this. I don't think I'm going to slay her, and I do want to know. I want to see what he says when I say that.
Well, there's no reasoning with a god, even one you've woven into existence yourself. I've said my piece, and my time is up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away.
Nedabel, I think Narrator's okay with nothing changing. Yeah, I think it is sort of an unchanging aspect, and because it's more of a functionary of the fabric of the universe, it doesn't need to live. It doesn't have that same sort of struggle in its soul. As the final fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself with newfound clarity. The long quiet, all of this is you. The narrator was right, you are the long quiet, a vast and nascent god, and it is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Proceed to the cabin one last time. A sharp vessel, bringing the razor, bracket full, close bracket, to her. Interesting. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There is nothing for you to find. Whoa! And then the hill explodes with white, swirly things.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me.
That is a fairly disturbing manifestation, honestly. Hi.
It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
So she's got... I was going to say she has the triple face. She doesn't. She has... Oh, what's the name of that goddess? She has near infinite faces. Now it's going to drive me crazy. I can't remember. Anyway, this is aping a real mythological goddess motif. Rojan, hear me out though? Alright, welcome to the end. Oh, that's very symbolic. Yeah, it is. Well, despite the fact that this is a bit disturbing, it's a lot less disturbing than some of the things we've seen. Explore, I've missed you too. Do you know about the echo? Did you hear a conversation? I've missed you too. She unfurls an endless cascade of smiles in response and then patiently waits for you to continue. Aw. That's kind of cool. Do you know about the echo? Did you hear a conversation?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
Yeah, I'm not sure death is the same for him as it would be for, like, a human being. Because if the echo is a function of a previous god's creation, then it would just cease. Whereas humans cycle. I'm the long quiet, but I don't really know what that means.
Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually am.
Yep, language can't capture truth. It can just reflect it. What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature.
It is the game that has been written for us, yes.
When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes.
Okay, so he was creating a dichotomy so that we could shatter... It's weird. So we could shatter the content, but preserve the structure of the demiurgic universe.
So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
Okay, Explorer, there's so many stories we've left unfinished. Can we really just leave? Don't you have a say in all this? Why is this all falling on me? Again, I think because we're Logos and she's Pathos, but anyway. Explorer, let's talk this through. I still have so many questions that I need answers before I can make a choice. If I let you out, an entire world ends for good. I can't do that. Sounds like the world is ending anyway. This is the natural cycle, it sounds like. If you were always going to become this, then what was the point of me doing anything? Did it even matter what roads I walked if all of them could have led to this moment? There has to be another way. I told you what was going to happen when we reached this point. Slay the princess, slay the princess. I think it's time for us to leave this place, but I don't know how to leave or where to go. Okay, let's ask some questions. Let's also save. Can we really just leave?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end. Pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
So you have a say in all of this. Why is this all falling on me?
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts.
A lot of the things we say are kind of naive on their face. Like, she's talking to us, and she has been one half of the protagonist's sort of dilemma that we were in the entire way through. So, like, just the fact that we are the ones who say, let's go or let's slay the princess, doesn't mean she didn't act.
If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict.
Okay, I still have so many questions.
My very nature is paradox, as is yours. You cannot use words to grasp at things that are beyond their reach.
As I was saying
And
earlier.
You cannot rationalize that which defies logic.
Very true.
But violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
Did I wait too long?
Boundless torrent of blades cut you for boundless anger. You are a body. You are gory ribbons. You are a body again. And you feel all of it.
Huh.
On and on it goes until your bodies are not your thoughts are not you. Alive, dead, alive, dead, alive, dead, and alive, dead, all at once.
Arca, not a wait always happens. Sorry? Do you mean... I'm sorry, I'm not following that.
You learned to put yourself away, and in your stillness you rose above me. You died countless steely deaths, and you lived countless short lives, and yet it is all so far behind you. I pushed you to a greatness you never would have reached without me.
Now this is, like, evidenced here. Arca just saying this phase of the game always happens, okay. Even if we don't... I guess I'll ask questions later, but like if we had not have used this as one of the vessels we found, would that have still happened here? Explore, address this vessel's statement directly. If you hadn't snatched that body away, we would have killed each other. It felt so good to finally win, even if it was going to cost me my life. Even if the journey was agony, the end gave the struggle meaning. Or return. The struggle itself gave the struggle meaning, too. But let's try that one.
And even then, what we saw was not an ending. When I thought I had reached an unconquerable peak, you showed me how much further I could still climb.
Yeah, we do that for each other. Oh, back to this.
Bleeding and sweating and breaking and mending and dying and living comes back in vivid color. You feel the shame of 100 deaths and the pride of 100 conquests. All of the peaks and valleys weaving themselves into a single tapestry, free of beginning and free of end. Do you remember when we killed each other with such fervent passion that death itself no longer sat on our shoulders?
Interesting. Okay, so we're counting back through the vessels we brought her, because that was in order. Protron, the only thing she pushed is a blade in our skull. Oh, man. And a dagger into our heart a bunch of times. And fists into our guts. That happened too. Alright, guys, I hate to do this, but we've gone over, and I actually have to go use the washroom very quickly. So I'm going to leave this on the screen, and I will be like a minute and a half, but it is not healthy for me to wait. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that. It's one of those things where, like, it's timed to end at 5, and if it doesn't, my body starts going, like, bad things are happening. Okay, now I can go straight. Okay, so, like I was saying, we've counted back by 1. It was beautiful, it was meaningless, it was unnecessary. We could have worked together to build something better. We didn't have to hurt each other. I don't like any of these choices. None of them are complete enough. Like, in a way, that's a microcosm of the struggle of life, and in that sense, it is beautiful. I don't think it was meaningless, but it was at that level of analysis. Neither of us could win, and it just repeated the thing over and over again. In a sense, it was unnecessary, but without the less... Like, all of these are true at once. If I could say all of these as a single statement, that would encapsulate everything. None of them is actually going to hold it. I'm going to say this one because it's a bit more optimistic. It was unnecessary. We could have worked together to build something better.
But for us, that was better.
She's going to counter with something else.
For me, there was no better end. I lost myself in an artistry so profound that it lifted both of us into something greater. A web of nerves.
Yep, see? Alright.
A web of nerves. Made upon a web of nerves. The shade of a beautiful beginning we can never return to.
These are hands clasping, I think.
Where did you end and I began? When you felt what it was to be me, we held on to each other and pierced the veil of truth. Will you abandon that curiosity now that we are no longer joined in physicality?
So, like, whatever we say, she just rewinds us by one vessel. So I don't feel like I really have any agency here. I still do want to know what's out there.
Then meet with me. We will see it all together.
Stop the fight early and surrender. Wait, is this a fight now? I'm so confused. This is so weird. Why do I have to surrender? I thought we were just leaving or not. Okay, let's just do that. I'm ready. I want to leave with you. Stop the fight early and surrender.
Nothing
Through conflict
brings me
we
greater
carve
joy
meaning.
than to hear those words. The final piece lies with you.
Free yourself. You fall into yourself. The body of an ancient creature stirs from its hibernation, and you feel sensation in limbs you once couldn't fathom. Everything here, except for her, is you. You feel your wings spanning a cosmic scale, but twisted and crumpled and bound in agonized tension to a finite plane. You can feel the glass of the construct pressing in on you, confining you across infinite sides and infinite angles. You push back and strain against it, but it does not yield.
I love you.
Take her hand. All at once, the unyielding tension breaks. You are free, and she is with you.
It's magnificent.
Is it? It's confusing. That is grass growing, by the way. There are no words, no thoughts to describe absolute reality, something that simply is. happens now? Step into the infinite.
Everything. Just like it always has been. And just like it always will be.
Step into the infinite. You and she step forward into 1,000 dawns and 1,000 sunsets, each of which contain 1,000 more. You exist and you are aware, just as you have always been and just as you always will be. Though conflict is in your nature, the two of you will never be alone, and the two of you will never know fear. You and she are finally home. There are no endings, only new beginnings. That's the end of the game! Jonathan Sims were the voices in her head. Nicole Goodnight was the princess. Many of these names are appropriate. The Apotheosis, Oblivion. Well, it's the first time she's seen color. It's a big deal for her. It would be. Arca GG. Thank you. GG, everybody. That was a good playthrough. Whoa. Oh, okay. Patreon alphabet listers. Huh. Oh, that's adorable. That is adorable. Our song. Finish the game. The good ending doesn't count. What's the good ending? Rotron, I would have slain her, to be honest. She's weird. Fair enough. But well, that was a heck of a game. It was. It really was. Thank you so much for playing. As an expression of gratitude, here's the track order for a special playlist just for you. If you'd like to take a screenshot, you can hide the UI by hitting H. I can screenshot right there. Oh, explore! Join the Discord, join our mailing list, join the subreddit, follow us somewhere else, make your playlist, play our other game. Let's just return to the main menu for now. Hold on. Can we save here? Okay. It was a bit loud to talk over. Well, guys, that was Slay the Princess. I have questions and feelings about that. So first, how many, if anybody knows, how many different vessels were there? I don't believe that we found exactly the correct vessels in the correct order or anything like that. And she was definitely counting down backwards. Proton a lot. Okay. Yeah, Sunsail. Beautifully crafted piece of art. It was very, very beautiful. And very well done. Arca, there are like 4. Well, we found 5. Or 4 or 5. No, we found 4, I think. So there are only those 4? You're gonna have to look this up afterwards. I think I'm still confused by what you mean. Protron, no, there are so many, it's insane. Okay, so you need to find a certain number of them to reach an ending. So then she'd count back. There are a good 20 of different princesses. So then that ending would have been different. Like where she was saying she was putting you through each one in reverse. That would have been a different sequence. Minable, after seeing a whole playthrough, I stand by original assertion that it's like a choose-your-own-adventure written by Clive Barker. I should probably read some Barker then. It does sound like these days it would probably hit me pretty well. Proton, the ending appears after you bring 4 vessels, okay. So the first vessel you made was Chill, wasn't she? She was. The first one we made, well, first one we made was kind of empty, but she was the one who was just like, I don't know, what do you want to do? It was that one. So it had to end well. That would be nice. Arc of the different phases would be different, okay. On the one hand, I'm kind of disappointed, I have to admit. And that's because when we got to the ending, they kind of refused to make an assertion of any kind. Like when they got right there at the very, very end, they just sort of left it as, and it is whatever it is. They didn't actually try to propose something real in the ontology. They didn't even give it sort of a symbolic like hint, really. It was really, the image I had was of an egg hatching. And when they especially went like, you two are together and your consciousness and you will be and won't be and will be and won't be, it was just, it revealed itself to be almost a metaphor of the condition of life, as opposed to saying something definitive about ontology or metaphysics, which is fine, don't get me wrong. I was kind of hoping it was going to try and actually assert something at the end, rather than sort of make a symbolic allusion to yin and yang being, this is one way to look at it anyway, but like yin and yang, or the masculine and feminine aspects being the dichotomic sort of building blocks of life, and then as you cycle and repeat, that's just the nature of reality. That was great, don't get me wrong, but I kind of thought they were going to say something more definitive about like the demiurge and the, anyway, I'm probably just nitpicking too much, but there was something unsatisfying about that. Minabel, Magica may be one you'd enjoy, explore some very similar themes to this game. Okay, I will look that up. Bertrand, there are 4 more endings, one of which is apparently called the good ending. Well, I am very impressed with the scope of this game if there are that many choices and possibilities. Yeah, and apparently they're adding more for this new version. That was extremely good. That was extremely good. And I should go looking for other endings then, possibly. Yep. Saw that, Protron. Only 2 voice actors and 1 artist. It's a lot of work for just 1 artist and 2 actors. And 1 writer, I think. Well, I'll have to look at that again. Hold on. Do we have the credits again? Just here? No, I'll have to check it again later. Interesting. But yeah, in the ending we got, it was like I don't know, the image I keep getting is that we just hatched from an egg. The whole thing could have been like an imagined phantasmal drama inside of a universal egg. And we were just giving birth to the next life. And it was sort of symbolically animating the process. And I don't think I'm putting that very well. Maybe I will try to say something else about it on the Discord later. Hey guys, thank you. That was definitely a palate cleanser of a game. I would certainly put it that way. Since although they did mention the nature of your character, he is reactive by design in a game made by a real god. Like, yes, but they also said, alright Proton, nice to meet you. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, and thank you for the follow. Very kind. Welcome to the Necronites. If you are interested, I can send you I'll send it to you anyway. Don't feel like you have to join, but I will send you the Discord invite afterwards. Thanks for hanging out. I'm very highly appreciated. And I'm sorry I'm a bit flabbergasted by the end there. But that's sort of what I'm talking about, Sunsil. Like the echo, the narrator, implies that there's an outside god that's created all this, but then he acts as though he is a god, and he calls you a god as well. Right? And then our feminine half tells us that we are reactive by nature, in a game made by a real god, but that could be like a call out to the fact that we're playing a game where you have to react to what the game is putting forward. It's just sort of a mess, I guess, to sort through. So I think it's one of those endings where you're not going to make specific sense of it. I don't think it's supposed to be made sense of exactly. I think it's just sort of supposed to be experienced and then chewed over in the head. And I mean, that's what a lot of the mystery schools get at with a lot of their teachings. A lot of it is trying to put things forward in a way that sort of, I don't know how to say this, that trick you into living in a different way until you realize what that trick is and what the lesson is that it's teaching you. A lot of gurus operate this way, if they're real gurus anyway, if they're not just trying to take you for a ride for money or whatever. They'll often like give you tasks or aphorisms or statements or whatever that the whole idea of chewing them over is to find that they are intractable, that they are insolvable, and that ultimately releasing that struggle is what actually brings growth or what brings clarity. It's when you let go of the unnecessary layers that you're sort of swimming through. You find the clarity behind it. She even talks about this in the game where she says, like, why try to describe that which language cannot describe? All right, well, anyway, that was cool. That was very, very cool. I guess that tells us that we are going to be switching back next week to Echoes of the Eye. Frankly, I think this was about the right level of palate cleansing for that, because after this crazy ontological, metaphysical, Gnostic ride, I'm very ready to get back to Echoes of the Eye and more sort of concrete problem solving, if that makes sense. Because like this wasn't like, we called it Work It Out Wednesday for this, but we weren't exactly working it out so much as we were being worked over and just trying to figure out what the heck was going on. There wasn't really a puzzle, you know? Suncel, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it too. It was a lot of fun. Thank you guys all for coming along. It was obviously way more fun with y'all. I feel like I might have fallen off it actually if I was just doing it alone, because I kept exploring themes that like I was familiar with. So thank you all for coming along. But yeah, anyway, we have gone long, so I'm just kind of dawdling because I kind of always miss this when it's over. You know, I miss you guys and I miss the streaming. I had an announcement. Oh yes, okay. This weekend, my brother-in-law's birthday is being celebrated on the Saturday. So the next Adventure with We weekend is actually going to be a Friday again. We're going to be back for Nine Souls this Friday at 2 p.m. That is the plan, because I'm going to be in an entirely different town come the time I should be streaming on Saturday. Emma Hittable, I'm glad you had a good time too. Thank you very much for joining us again. Thank you all. This is... I was really sad last week, and I am very sorry about that again. I'm glad the rain didn't knock us out today, but I got really bummed last week because these are the high points of my week, and being here with all of you and streaming this, that's where I want to be. So thank you all for joining me. Yes, I'll see you next week. See you all next week. We'll be back with Echoes of the Eye here on Perfect Plays. Have a good one, Sunsail. Have a good one, Meherabel. Have a good one, Arca. Have a good one, Weep Thief. Have a good one, Protron. Have a good one, everyone out there. And I shall say, as always, meow for now. Have an excellent one. Take care. And peace.